Dave. This is Joe.
I listened to that podcast and I was like, I am willing.
That sounds really cool. And then Chris Humphrey's hard fouls. Kevin Garnett pushes him straight to the third row. Let's go. My name is Dave. This is Joe. Let's go. This is the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show. Joe, you got anything you want to say before you go?
No, we have talked a lot.
We have talked a lot. There's nothing left of the tank. Let's go. Welcome back to the 57th episode. Not welcome back to the 57th episode because it just started, but welcome back to the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show. This is the 57th episode, and there's a jaguar dying in the corner. This is where we are at a wild scene here. There's a jaguar just...
All right, that's it. It was only 13 seconds.
Not a bad take. I like it.
No, yep.
That was good.
That's the jaguar. That's the death of a jaguar.
The death of a jaguar happening right
Jaguar?
here.
Jaguar?
Jaguar.
Jaguar.
As I like to write,
Jags.
Jags.
Yeah, Jags.
Just much easier.
Just keep it Jags. So, of course, my name is Dave, and I'm accompanied by my two fellow nerds here, and one dead jaguar. So
Jaguar Joe, my new name.
There you go. There it is. The host of Set the Record Straight.
Soon.
Yeah.
Jaguar Joe.
Jaguar Joe.
I fired Ben Field Goal.
Yeah.
I hired Jaguar Joe.
That's it.
He's going to host Set the Record Straight.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I'll just be a silent background person.
There you go. Perfect. You just do all
I'll run the boards. I run the boards on
Set the Record Straight.
It's actually hosted by Jaguar Joe.
Perfect. And to my right, I have the host of WECP.
Aaron.
There he is. So, fellas, we're back in the Super Bowl. Water makes you wet. Fire is hot. Whatever.
No, the season starts February 5th. 4th.
February 4th.
It's the start of the season.
Start
of the football season.
Very excited.
It was a long preseason.
Yeah, ready to go.
I'm really excited. That last game was a doozy.
That was a really good football game.
Yeah.
It was a good football game. It was a really good preseason game. It's like for a preseason game that went really well.
Well, they talked about that during the game. They kept bringing up these guys practiced against each other during the preseason.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No Jalen Ramsey though.
Back then.
Right. In the preseason, he didn't play, and someone else for the Jaguars didn't play. Jags.
Jaguars. I am so wildly itchy here right now. Don't mind me. So what did you guys think? It was I thought it was a really good football game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bortles didn't cost them the game.
Yeah.
How insane!
Didn't hurt you.
How insane is it that they were the Jags have to play pretty much a perfect game to beat the Pats? Mm-hmm. They played pretty much a perfect game and still lost.
Right. Yeah. They did it all right. I mean, Fournette was kind of a non-factor.
You should have figured that was going to happen.
Right, 3.1, 3.2 yards per carry, something like
3.2.
that. 3.2, yeah.
They kept
24
trying
for
it.
74.
He was 24 for 76 and a rushing touchdown. He had a longest of 14.
Right. But, I mean, that's 23 carries for 62 yards, which is not great. That's less than 3 if you take the 14-yard run away.
Yeah.
It was significantly better than the Pats rushing game.
Yeah.
They had, I think, true. Deion Lewis, the last play of the game, had a 16-yard rush or something
right, on that 3rd and 9 or whatever it was. Yeah.
And before that, I think they had 28 yards total.
He was 9 for 34. Yeah. He had an average of 3.8. His longest was 18.
Nice. Well, per touch, better than Fournette.
Yeah.
So I'll take it. There it is.
You want to see the best stat?
Sure.
James White. 3 rushes.
Yeah.
4 yards, 1.3, and a touchdown.
Nailed it.
Big Game James. That's been the nickname in my household now.
Nice. Big Game James. I like that.
Big
Game James. And Mr. January and Amendola.
Yeah. Well,
unbelievable.
Two touchdowns.
It's so weird. It's like the Pats.
Unreal.
It's like the Pats have a separate roster that they activate specifically for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's like,
James White, you
or
matter.
the playoffs.
Right.
It's just we're going to, in the NBA season, they'll just sit people for rest. Good teams will just be we're going to sit our stars because, they need some rest.
Right.
It's the Pats sit Danny Amendola and James White for the entire regular season. Yeah. It's the playoffs are here. All right, we're going to activate these two, and they're just going to take over games.
Go nuts. Yeah. Right. It's just you just let them go. Go Power Rangers.
Yeah. Danny Amendola had 11 catches in the first playoff game.
Yeah, 11 catches, 100 yards.
Yeah, and then this
first one.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
And then
let's check it out. I like it. Aaron's so well prepared.
And then this playoff game, he catches the 2 big touchdowns.
And that second one was a great catch.
Oh, insane.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the Julio catch on the sideline in the Super Bowl
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So against the Jags, Danny Amendola, 7 for 84, 2 touchdowns. He was targeted 9 times.
Mm-hmm.
Against the Titans, he was 11 for 112, no touchdowns, and he was targeted 13 times.
13 times, yeah.
So he has 2 incomplete.
Right. Per game. Yeah.
Per game.
Right. And those could be
Big
there's
plays.
Not like even 2 drops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, those could
just be
overthrown or
yeah, right.
Great play on the defensive
player. What about
player.
the needle that Brady threw on the catch by Amendola where he kept rolling?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I remember we were watching the game and I was like, "That was a
the
rifle."
One, is that the one that looked like it was going to be it was a pick?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that was a pick.
Right.
And then it was like, oh no,
Amendola has it and he's just rolling on the ground.
He's army crawling.
He's army crawling to the first down. Yeah, I love that.
What about he threw a perfect. He threw a lot of passes that were legit perfect that didn't get caught.
The Cooks one.
Yeah, that thing was perfect. Like on a a teardrop. Just drops it.
Gronk
in.
had one too. Hit him right in the hands.
Hit a bad drop.
And was it James White? I think had one.
Yeah.
Or Deion Lewis, where they like rolled out.
Yeah.
It was like a wheel route.
And
he like lofted it up, and it just like.
Right, just out of his, not even out of his fingertips, but off his tips or whatever. It's just definitely catchable. This is a wild thing. I think he looked the best he's looked all season.
Against the number 1 passing defense.
With the number 1 passing defense, 12 stitches in hand, no problem.
No Rob Gronkowski.
No Gronk for the second half, or the majority of the second half.
Think about how crazy that is. They're playing the number 1 passing defense in the NFL. Mm-hmm. They lose Rob Gronkowski before halftime.
Right. Was that before halftime?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was before.
I know it was definitely before the fourth.
It was before that drive that they scored to come within before half.
Yeah.
I think it was actually on that drive.
I think it was on that drive, yeah.
You know what we forgot about with Danny Amendola? He had a pass for 20 yards.
So we talked about this last week.
Oh, how many trick plays did
you under, right?
2 trick plays.
2 trick plays.
And one was
the flea flicker?
A flea flicker.
And the double pass.
And the thing is, it was a double pass screen.
Yeah.
Which is wild. Like
right.
Usually you throw the double pass and you send the guy deep so that like you pin you. They ran a double pass screen.
Right. They threw it to one screen across the field to the other screen, which is a wild thing. Normally it's a double pass.
And it worked. It just got the fumble. That was the fumble.
Yeah. That was a wild. That's a tough play. I've watched it 1,000 times. I don't know if he was. I don't know the rules well enough because for an NFL receiver, right?
That would have been incomplete or lost possession of the ball.
Well, no. What I mean is like, all right. So if you're running your route, you get tripped up and you fall down, and the ball's in the air, and you catch it on the ground. Would you be marked down because you're down because you were forced down by, even though you didn't have possession yet, but you were down because of contact?
Oh, I don't know. That's weird.
Because if so, then Jack was down. You know what I'm saying? Because they made contact at some point. So the reason why he's on the ground is based on physical contact with another player.
Yeah.
So he should be down. But I don't know if that rule is true. You know what I mean? Because at some point you're on the ground because of an opposing player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like touched by an opposing player while you were heading to the ground. So if that's the case, then he's definitely down.
It was such a bang fplay.
It's so fast.
The fact that anyone is upset about it,
right.
It's like you're looking at it after the fact.
Right. Oh, of course, yeah. And
I didn't even think it was
a fumble.
When I saw it in real time, I was like, "Oh, he's down."
Right.
And
the replay said to me it was a 50-50 shot whether those refs are going to call it. And I was sitting there, I was like, it's probably a fumble.
On the replay, it was a fumble to me.
Yeah.
But just like when it happened, I was like, "Oh, he hit the ground and then Jack just ripped the ball out of his hands." That's what I thought.
Right.
I didn't think he like fumbled it and then. So obviously, if I watched that in real time and I thought he was down and then Jack ripped the ball out of his hands, ref blows a whistle. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But people are upset that the ref blows the whistle.
I think that was actually the best way to officiate that because you don't know that he wasn't down.
Yeah.
You don't know so it's better like, hey, let's call it Jack's ball. They're on their side of the field here, whatever they're like at the midfield.
They went 3 and out.
Yeah, they go 3 and out, right? And then. Like I think that's the way to do it. Like, hey, okay, it was clearly their ball. If you're going to say he fumbled, like, okay, we got that part right. could he have got up and was he down or not? That's a bunch of what if. So I thought if I was a Jags fan, the Jags players were like, okay, cool, we got it. It seemed like they were content with
They didn't seem like pissed off, like, I can't believe you blew that whistle.
Right. And then after the game, Jalen Ramsey's like, oh, they're premature with a whistle or whatever. I'm like, maybe. You know what I mean? I don't know. But
to me, it was definitely a fumble.
I don't know how you can officiate that fairly.
To me, it was definitely a fumble because he lost possession of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He might not have completely. This is if you think that the Austin Seferian-Jenkins fumble call was a fumble, then you have to think the Dion Lewis fumble call is a fumble.
No. Yeah, because the reason why Austin Seferian-Jenkins I think is a fumble is because the ball is clearly out of his hand. But Lewis pinned it.
Yeah, but it was loose.
It came loose, but he was in contact with it the whole time. And there's that freeze frame of Jenkins where in front of him the ball is completely just in the air.
Oh yeah, right? But I would say that Dion Lewis lost possession of the ball.
He did lose possession, but I think when he rolled, I thought he still had it kind of pinned to his hip. And the reason why I think that it's a tough call is because if David Tyree can catch a football off his helmet, and with like 4 fingers on it, you know what I mean, and then that be ruled possession for a catch, why is having your hand and your other hand on the nose of the ball on your hip not possession? To me, they kind of spit in the wind of each other.
Because I think the difference is the Tyree catch.
Yeah.
He kept possession of it.
Right.
Once he hit the ground, he still had possession of it. Mm-hmm. Dion Lewis hit the ground and it was gone.
And then it came out. It was gone.
Talk about the Tyree catch.
Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, sorry.
Bring that up.
Right. But the Lewis thing was like, I just thought when it's on his hip like that, he's down. You know what I mean? Like he's laying on his knees down, he's down. So like, you could say that technically he had possession of it right there and then lost it. That it comes loose, Jack winds up with it. It's a close call, but actually, now that I think about it, too, the refs should have let the play happen because all turnovers and all touchdowns get reviewed automatically. So then you could have said, all right, we'll just let the review handle it, see if he was marked down.
Yeah, but it's still that's a tough decision to call right then.
Right. It is. It absolutely
to go back to the catch that shall not be named for a second.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how Rob Parker is the dope?
Oh, my God.
The dumbest of all time?
Yeah, he sucks.
He has this take that Brady's the luckiest of all time.
Yeah.
If a quarterback is the luckiest of all time,
it's Eli Manning.
They wouldn't lose 2 Super Bowls. Right. He would have 7. He would
Yeah.
He wouldn't have 5 and two of the luckiest losses of all time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. No, yeah.
So how can he be the low?
Right. Rob Parker sucks.
Yeah.
Well, you could also say that it's like the Giants are their kryptonite.
Yeah. Well, that's what he said.
Tom Coughlin. He knows how to
Coughlin.
beat him.
Right. I don't know. I mean, like we said before, they're a couple plays away from winning those Super Bowls, and it wouldn't be Tom Coughlin knows how to beat him. I think Tom Coughlin calls a good defense to compete with the Patriots and disrupt them.
In 2007, if you didn't have Ellis Hobbs,
right,
as your starting left corner,
yeah.
We wouldn't be talking about this.
I do have a question for Aaron, and I don't want to get into this argument again.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, regardless of whether they win the Super Bowl now, would you consider Tom Brady to go after the game against the number 1 pass defense, down by 10?
This is what I brought up a couple weeks ago.
Down by 10, no Gronkowski, Amendola is your leading receiver. Against the number 1 pass defense in the NFL, only giving up 170 yards a game, he threw for 137 in the 4th quarter.
Right, 9 of 14.
And they made the Super Bowl. Regardless of whether they win or lose now, would you consider him the GOAT? Or does he still need to win one more?
I think if he plays like he did in the 2 Super Bowls that he lost, where he put him in an opportunity to win.
As long as he doesn't play like shit, you're saying.
Yeah, like if he doesn't go out there and throw up.
If he throws like 5 picks.
Yeah, well, not even that. Like if he goes out there and throws 3 picks, 2 touchdowns, and they fucking almost win the game, I'm going to be like, well, that sucked.
Yeah, like if you were better, we could have won the game. Yeah.
If you cost him the game, kinda, in the long run, if you didn't fuck up multiple times, okay.
Right.
But like, that's the thing is watching him this year versus when he lost those Super Bowls. This year he figured out. I'm not saying this year, but since then has figured out how to avoid a sack. A lot better because back then he was used to having time those 2 seasons, those 2 Super Bowls,
Right.
they were not giving him any time.
That's absolutely
He's
true.
gotten much better in the pocket.
So
He's more
shiftier, dude.
He's sensing
shifty,
pressure and
shifty, and just more composed.
Right.
Like there were times when I remember when he would get like just enough, like even if he felt like a guy that was breathing near him,
Right.
He would just like
ghosts,
he would throw it real fast or throw it out of bounds, and you're like, come on, man, like
Yeah,
you could have made a play. He wasn't on you.
Yeah, no, you could hear skeletons.
Yeah,
Like, before
hearing
absolutely.
footsteps.
Yeah, hearing footsteps. Yeah, like it was. It used to be. That was a big thing. Hit him early.
Yeah.
and you could screw him up.
That's
You know
what I mean.
You get
Yeah,
paranoid.
he's learned how to play that.
He's getting clobbered.
Well, they're
the past few years, and it's like, oh yeah, then it's a fourth quarter game winning drive. Like he's as composed and ready and clutch as ever. And after getting hit, banged around, not that the Jags were all over him, you know what I mean, but getting sacked 3 times a couple of years ago or 10 years ago may have been enough. You know what I mean, to have him feel worried.
They're also saying that like he practices getting hit, like he practices how he's going to go down,
How he falls and stuff.
to save his body the best way he can.
he took a hit from, was it Miles Jack?
Oh my god,
He got
blew him up.
destroyed on one sack.
That delayed blitz
Was it a
right
sack?
up the middle.
Or
No,
did he get the ball away?
He threw it. I think he threw it away. But yeah, he got clobbered.
Oh my god!
Am I a piece of shit for like thinking Miles Jack had a great game?
He
I
did
respect him as a football player. He used to play 2-way in college.
Yeah.
He was a middle linebacker and a running
He had
back.
a great game. Yeah.
He had a great game, and I was happy as shit to see him lose.
Yeah,
Like looking at him so defeated
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he put it all out there, and that god awful haircut that he has.
the hair bothered you.
Oh
The hair
my
made the
God,
list, dude.
man.
Fucking,
Yeah.
it was the hair was on the list.
So
heavy.
awful.
Yeah, it was pretty tough.
Like it's one thing to have your hair kind of like puffed up like that and like cut and do like the what's his name that used to play for the Pats and then went to Tampa. Northcutt.
Underwood,
to,
Taekwon Underwood.
Underwood.
Yeah,
he used to have the high top fade.
Yeah, with the lean.
That looks cool though.
Right,
Like
right.
it looks neat.
Right.
When his hair was just like,
It's just fluffy and he looked like a troll ball.
That's why I laugh at like half of these NFL players that have like really long hair. Like when they talk about
He had like the Odell Beckham hair, kind of.
it looks ridiculous. I think Odell Beckham's a fucking moron with that hair. He would look so much
so
nicer.
trendy.
Yeah.
It's so trendy. To
Yeah. Okay.
It is. I know. I mean,
So many people
really,
do that. Yeah, I get it.
yeah.
I get it. I'm the guy that doesn't
I
get it.
Just
I don't.
It's
anti-trend.
the what's it? Doesn't the youngest Ball brother have that hair too?
Yeah. They
Yeah,
all
yeah,
look.
yeah, yeah.
They look
Lamelo?
like Q-tips.
Yeah, they
Wait.
do look like
Like beat
No.
up Q-tips.
They look like what is it?
Leangelo?
Lamelo.
Lamelo.
Or Leangelo. I'm not sure which one's. No,
It's
Leangelo is the one that the middle one. Right?
Leangelo's he's Cooper Manning.
Yeah. They look like those. What are they? It's like the ice cream bars.
Yeah.
Thing, with like it's got like the nuts.
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, it looks like that. I forget.
He looks ridiculous.
Like an
Yeah.
eclair.
It's plain and simple.
Isn't that what they're
I
called?
don't know.
No.
I can't remember. Not
No,
eclair.
eclairs are stuffed.
Yeah,
The chocolate eclairs or whatever.
yeah. That's
the-
like a. Yeah, I know.
The popsicle is what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Now
We're getting off topic.
I'm all screwed up here.
Sorry, I'm talking
yeah.
about hair.
Yeah, we're on a trendy.
No, I just
hair trend.
watching that game and then just seeing him after the game, like, and then I guess a lot of people are making like memes of what is it, Ramsey that was like crying on the sideline.
yeah.
No, I know Bortles was crying. He just had
Yeah.
tears.
Oh, I'm
that's
sure.
too bad. That's
I'm
too
sure.
bad.
Well, isn't
He played a great game.
Yeah, I was gonna say he did everything he could.
Not only that, it might be his last
Chance.
time as a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Think about how crazy this is. This is from my Colin Coward kick.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, and it's partially one of my rants. I talked about how small. This is why what the Pats are doing is absolutely insane. How small the window of opportunity is in the NFL. The Jaguars might never make it back.
Right.
Well, they spent too much money.
I know they have a really.
can't do it
I know they
next
have
year.
I know they have a good young defense.
Yeah.
But this year they didn't have to deal with Deshaun Watson. Got hurt halfway through the year, so they didn't have to deal with him.
Yeah.
They didn't have to deal with Andrew Luck all year,
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and that's 2 people in their division.
Right. That's true. That's a really good point.
Hey, all you gotta do is keep Deshaun Jackson away from porn stars, and he'll be fine.
Oh, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
Keep him away from porn stars, and he'll be all right.
That's true.
So they went 10-6 or 11-5, I think 11-5.
The
Jaguars.
Jags.
Yeah,
I thought they were 12-4, but I could be wrong.
I think they lost 2.
They might. Yeah. You might be right.
If they went 11-5, like they might go 10-6, 9-7. They might
Right.
lose that division next year.
Oh yeah,
Right.
easily.
So this might be the close. And the same thing with Minnesota. Minnesota has no quarterbacks on
Roster next year.
on roster
Yeah,
right now.
None on the books.
They just go out and get Blake Bortles.
They had no Aaron Rodgers. They had no Aaron Rodgers in their conference, in their division.
Yeah. I think the two things that are gonna really help both of those franchises, especially obviously Jacksonville, you have your franchise running back. Like he can carry your team until you figure out a quarterback situation. Right. In Minnesota, I think that's what cost them down the line. Not having I forget his name. Their rookie running back was it? What's his name?
Minnesota? Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook. I was going to say Cooks. I don't know why. Yeah. But he was really good. Right. And I thought about that. I was like, can you imagine if they still had him? Right. Like you didn't have to rely on your other running backs?
I don't think it wouldn't have mattered in that game.
No, probably not. Probably not. But it was just...
But down the stretch, you're right. That's a different wrinkle for him.
Is the game more of a blowout because you still have your starting quarterback? You're not on your second string quarterback?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, as good as Foles played.
If
the Wentz was there.
If you had Wentz,
Philly had Wentz now, I would be really worried about the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yes,
I might actually pick Philly. Yeah. If Wentz was playing, I might actually pick Philly to win.
Really,
that team is really good.
They are,
and Wentz was unbelievable when he was there. Yeah. And the thing is, fucking Philly, they could be fucking no one next year. Right. I mean, I think they're going to be. I think you might be looking at the next dominant team in the NFL.
So the next Seahawks. NFC, next Seahawks. Team that's...
I'm talking about in the NFL.
Oh, no, I know. But
I wouldn't be surprised if we get a rematch of this Super Bowl next year.
Maybe.
The Patriots with Edelman and Gronk.
Right.
I think the Pats are going to cruise to the Super Bowl next year.
Oh, yeah. They're already the favorites, like 9-2.
And
it's crazy.
I think the Pats cruise as long as and health is a huge thing. Right, obviously, we saw Philly's season. Like the only reason they were underdogs was because of they lost Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
So obviously injuries play a huge deal. But if the Pats stay healthy, or at least their offensive weapons, if Gronk and Edelman stay healthy, I think they cruise to a Super Bowl. And I think you could see the exact same thing out of the Eagles, where if they stay healthy, they just cruise.
I think also what hurt Minnesota was not playing at home.
Yeah, I think that was a tough thing. I think that there was a very, a lot of excitement on, hey, we can come back home. You know what I mean? And you put a lot of pressure on that. So.
I think, and I'll be curious to see what this Eagles team does away from Philadelphia. Because I think being in Philly...
How many death threats do you think they'll get for, knocking out Minnesota?
In Minnesota?
Minnesota would have been there.
Yeah.
You're going to be playing in Minnesota.
I don't think Philly fans give a fuck.
No, I'm not talking about Philly fans. I'm talking about the players having to check into that hotel room.
Minnesota people are pretty nice. Eagles fans are nuts, dude.
Yeah,
Tom Brady, I'm going to fuck your wife.
Yeah.
You saw that video?
That guy.
Whoa.
I have a lot of problems with him. He had pads on.
Right.
He had shoulder pads in the stands.
Yeah. What are we doing?
He had an Eagles uniform over shoulder pads.
Yeah.
That's an insane move. It's a serial killer move.
That guy might be a serial killer.
Yeah, it's a serial killer move. He might have had football pants on.
I was going to say, to be fair, not just the Eagles, the Raiders have fans like that.
He took his helmet.
Yeah.
He took his helmet off to make that statement.
Yeah.
So that you could see his face.
I'm sure.
He was in the stands in full Philadelphia Eagles uniform. Like if Peterson was like, shit, I'm down a player. Hey, you, come on in.
Right.
Well, it's like...
And it's different. I know you talked about the Raiders, they have those Raiders guys with the spike shoulder pads on and shit.
Like fucking nut jobs.
To me, that is way different than just wearing straight up a Philadelphia Eagles uniform, equipment and all in the stands. Having spike shoulder pads and painting your face is a crazy fan move. Wearing a straight up football uniform complete with pads is a serial killer move.
I mean, either that or you're the guy that's going to sneak into the stadium.
Yeah,
and be able
to
he's going to get into the locker room before they know it.
What's the Mark Wahlberg movie where he Invincible? What's the movie where
Invincible?
Where he's an Eagles guy.
Yeah.
He does a walk on. Yeah. He's trying to be that. He's trying to be Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, well,
from
maybe,
that movie.
maybe.
That's really funny.
I don't think that'll be good when they look at his Twitter account and see that he threatened to fuck Giselle.
No. If Kevin tagged Tom Brady in the video.
Did he?
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people have, but
I do. The one thing I'm really excited about Philly being in the Super Bowl is EDP. Do you guys know EDP? Eat That Pussy? The guy, the YouTube guy. He's a Philly.
No.
His name's Eat That Pussy, whatever on YouTube.
Yeah.
But they call him EDP.
Yeah.
When they're talking about him, not in a
forum that you can swear.
Where you can't swear, yeah.
Yeah.
And he makes hilarious freak out videos about the Eagles.
No kidding.
And I'm excited to see what he
what he's got in store.
Well, it's like the fans that are like chanting, "Bring on Brady!
Yeah, we want Brady.
We want Brady." No, you don't.
Are you crazy?
Yeah, do you want to measure your quarterback? Because I don't blame you. We do too. We'll keep them. Thanks. You know what I mean?
You think Chris Long and LeGarrette Blount were like, "You sure?"
Yeah, like, hey, don't do that. Hey, don't do that.
Well, my favorite thing is the comparison videos are like teams them celebrating the win, the owners dancing with them and everything,
right.
And then you have the Patriots and they're all like, "Man, that was a great game."
Right.
Like hugging each other.
We got our toughest game ahead of us. You know what I mean? Like, just like right away.
No, but they're like, we deserve this. But we got one. This gave us a chance for one more.
The best video coming out after the Pats won was the one of Belichick being handed the AFC Championship trophy.
Yeah.
And he literally like grabs it and he goes, "Just someone take this." Like he doesn't even like want it.
I don't want that.
They like hand it to him and he turns to what's Bob Kraft's son's name? Steve? Jonathan.
Yeah,
Jonathan.
And he's just like, John, take this. Like,
don't.
It's like literally like a 3-second hold. It's like, here
you go. I don't want this one.
I don't give a fuck about
this. Isn't the one I want.
One solid motion.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, I had a tough time swallowing it. Really, where it's like, this is unbelievable.
Tom Brady.
Does it feel real?
50-50 chance.
Yeah.
Every year. Flip a coin.
No, but I'm just saying.
He's in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but does it feel possible that they're back in it? Like
No,
last year felt like it was like
destiny. Like,
well, that, and it's like, once again, like I said, last year it was the revenge tour. This year it was like, man, like they're just going out to see that they're the best.
Right.
Like there's no plot.
Right. There's
lack of a better word. There's no
as hard as ESPN is trying or whatever.
Yeah, this is like WWE programming. It's horrible
it's
right
really
now.
Bad. Yeah, it's not interesting.
I don't know what the exact percentage is for Tom Brady making the AFC Championship.
It's 12 out of 16.
I don't know what. Yeah, but what's the percentage?
That'd be 75%.
All right. So think about this: the highest completion percentage in the Hall of Fame is Kurt Warner. It's like 67%.
Right.
So Tom Brady has a better chance of making the AFC Championship game than Kurt Warner, the highest completion percentage ever in the Hall of Fame, has of completing a pass.
Right.
Tom Brady's like, he's just like, oh, I'm going to the AFC Championship.
Like, you're going to throw a pass.
Yeah.
And it might get caught. I'm going to go to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Just
I'm going to be one of the 4 best
While
teams.
you do that, while you throw a pass 4 times and 3 times someone catches it, I'm going to go be in the Final Four.
I actually have a better chance. I have a better chance of being in the Final Four.
Yeah. You're going to throw 3 passes. You're going to complete 2 of them.
I have a better chance.
I'm going to go to 4 AFC championships and make 3 of them.
I have a better chance of getting into the Final Four in the NFL than you do of completing like a 10-yard out.
It's crazy to think about. That is a crazy thing. And it's the same thing like Drew Brees broke the record this year, 75%.
Yeah.
The highest completion percentage ever in a season is Tom Brady's chances of making it to the Final Four. And it's unbelievable. It's just 50%. Like, and
it'll be higher because I think he's going to do it again. I think they're going to do it again next year.
They're going to do it again next year. Right. I absolutely believe that. And that's the thing I really want. I was looking at a graphic where it was like Patriots are the first team to reach 10 Super Bowls. Right.
Yeah.
So they're 5-4. They're going for their 10th one now. Second is the Cowboys, Steelers, and Niners, I believe, all with 8.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's wild is if Tom Brady goes to the Super Bowl next year, he'll have more than any other franchise.
By himself.
Yeah. Like as a player. He's going to have more than 53 years of football. He's going to be in more Super Bowls than any other team.
You'll see that graphic on like ESPN where it's like Super Bowls made by franchise, and it'll be like Patriots with 11 at that point now, then Tom Brady with 9 or 8.
Right? Yeah.
9.
It would be 9 next year, right?
9, and then like Steelers, Cowboys,
8, and then 6-5-4, whatever. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So you might already see that graphic,
right?
With 8, and like show him tied with the rest,
because he's tied with the rest of any other team. Yeah, it's just unbelievable.
It's going to be really. I hope they win, just so Steelers fans can post like, oh, we have 6,
the same
and
amount.
I'll be like, so Tom Brady has 6. We have one quarterback with 6 rings. You have a franchise, the most out of any franchise, has 6. We have a player,
that has as many as your entire team.
Our franchise is tied with you too, but we also have just one player.
Just one guy did it. Right.
Frank came to make a delivery yesterday or today, and he just goes, "Man, it's going to be sad when it's over." I'm like, "Shut up!
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Can we soak this in for 5 minutes?
Can we talk about when it's going to be over?"
Yeah, well, here's the thing. You guys are bringing up like other people in other divisions. Like, do you think Miami's going to be good next year?
No.
I mean, I'm just asking. Like,
yeah,
I don't.
no.
They play
The
good
Bills-
against New England.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
play good in their division. They
Jet-
could be a division.
Right.
But what's their quarterback situation? Because I don't
Well,
think
I know.
Tannehill is under. I think,
I forgot.
They might-
He got hurt.
They
That's
might-
what I'm
Right,
saying.
right,
Like,
right. I forgot
if
about
he's
that.
healthy,
and I think he has like a team option, so they can like
Let him go.
if they don't pick him up, they actually save money on the cap,
so they could just like go. Okay, we're going to go out and get.
or they have to
Draft
like.
somebody.
No, we're going to get one of those guys from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Save some money.
Right.
So
You know,
their
not-
quarterback
not Sam
situation's up
Bradford.
in the air. Buffalo's quarterback situation is fucking
Yeah, oh,
nuts.
yeah, they're
the
horrible.
Jets are in a rebuild,
Yep.
Right.
so I mean
Right.
their division's going to be crazy easy.
Right. Pats are going to win 12 games next year at least.
Yeah.
And then just
Oh no, I'm
it's
just saying. Like
crazy.
Miami's the one team in your division.
Yeah. It gives you a tough time.
They can give you a tough time.
Yeah, that's true. They do. But they always play in.
Obviously, the Jets are fucked
Right.
for right now, unless they go out and get Garoppolo. But hey, wishful
Yeah.
thinking.
He's signing back.
Wishful thinking.
I'm fully in on he's going back to San Fran.
I think so too.
And then Buffalo. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
If Peterman is your quarterback next year,
oh, it's going to be a fucking
it's going to be a
cakewalk.
See, I
fucking
think
massacre.
I think the Bills go backwards. I think the Dolphins might get better.
I just
You know
don't
what I mean?
know.
And that's
if
what I
they
think
bring
if
back Tannehill, I think they'll get better.
They'll
And
get
I
better,
also
right,
think
right.
they could
I
get.
don't think Tannehill does
Competes
anything.
with the division.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
But
No.
they will be a better team with.
He's a
Tannehill.
better quarterback than what they had playing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, and they have a decent running back. They traded away their running back, which
That Drake kid's pretty filthy.
yeah, no, I'm just saying. Like, and he fucking lit up the Patriots.
Right. Oh God, yeah.
And you get their quarterback healthy. They're running. Their running backs healthy.
Right.
They can be a force.
Yeah.
Their defense is good. They're going to get rid of Sue eventually.
Yeah.
Get his cap number off the fucking books.
I will be interested to see what this Pats team looks like next year
yeah.
without McDaniels and Patricia.
Have you heard any rumors that Cornell might come back?
Really?
Yeah.
As defensive
I
coordinator?
read an article. Yeah.
I thought they were going to promote
The guy, the linebackers coach.
that didn't get the
Arizona
Cardinals job. So.
That, it makes more sense. I think.
Who got the
To do
Arizona
Flores.
job? Was it?
Dan Flores?
something like that?
I think
yeah,
that's his name.
Yeah.
Who got
I
it?
don't know.
I know.
I think it was like a quarterback's coach for some team.
Where did Vrabel end up?
Tennessee.
Oh, he took the Tennessee
job.
Tennessee job. Yeah.
McDaniels is going to
That's
be
insane.
McDaniels is going to be the Colts coach, and Patricia. I heard a story that Patricia is already firing people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I heard that. Yeah.
There's like footage of him like sitting there making phone calls and just
Right.
like, and there people are just like, yeah, there's no jobs left in Detroit right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's brutal.
Patricia's already fucking
He's gutting that
Right.
place.
gutting.
Yeah. Well, good. The how wild is that? The AFC South is going to be Josh McDaniels, Mike Vrabel, Bill O'Brien.
Yep.
Pretty interesting.
Pat South, literally.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, like New England South down there. So, yeah, that's good for Vrabel. I don't know.
I don't
if
think
he's
going to be a good
coach.
coach.
Me neither.
Like,
Was he even a defensive coordinator or anything?
He supposedly this year was the defensive coordinator of the Texans.
I thought he was like a linebacker.
He
was.
They
And then I think he took
they
the-
upgraded him. I think.
Yeah, but the Texans defense was awful this year.
Right.
Well,
I mean,
I know I catch shit for saying it, but once they lost Watt, that changed a shit ton of their defense.
Yeah.
And then Clowney was hurt for a stretch.
Yeah, and then also you lose your starting
They
quarterback
were
that
riddled.
was lighting everybody up.
Yeah.
Then your defense has to carry the team. It just wasn't
They
working.
were riddled with injuries, but they weren't impressive this year.
Right.
By
No.
any stretch.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I mean, maybe he coaches up a lot of talent. You know what I mean? Like, he maybe does a good job with guys like J.J. Watt, like when he's on the field. He's a good player. Is he better with Mike Vrabel or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but I thought it was kind of a weird hire. Like, I was like, oh,
It's weird.
Okay. Yeah,
it's just like the Yankees.
right.
Like, I get it. He's a guy. Like, he never played in Tennessee. It's not like you're
Yeah, it's
hiring a
just
guy
not
for like
like that.
nostalgia purposes.
Right.
You're hiring a guy because he's a younger,
Right.
up and coming coach. But like, he's not he doesn't come off like a
Right.
great like X's and O's guys. He seems like you said, like more of a motivator of men, which sometimes that's what you
That's all
need,
you need,
as
right.
as a
It's like
head
Mike
coach.
Singletary.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Right.
Also-
Singletary could make you run through a wall.
Also, a weird thing is they have a young quarterback in Mariota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think they would go like offensive-minded head coach.
McDaniels.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I think he passed on the job. I think they offered the job to McDaniels.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah,
like, I want to
yeah.
be the Colts coach.
Yeah.
But you would think they would try and get like it's crazy to me how many defensive-minded head coaches have been hired when it's really a quarterback league and you're trying to get the most and all the young coaches that have been successful recently. McVay was offensive coordinator. Kyle Shanahan, offensive coordinator. The dude who Philly, Peterson, was the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. Yeah. So it's weird that all these offensive coordinators had a lot of success and they're going defensive heavy with the hiring.
I feel less like it's a quarterback's league than I've ever felt before.
Well, look at the finals.
Right, then that's kind of where I'm at. Like, and if Brady wins the Super Bowl and the Patriots, you're gonna say, oh yeah, well they got Tom Brady. Okay.
But like I was going over before, we had no Andrew Luck this year. Right. We had no Aaron Rodgers this year.
Right.
We had no Carson Wentz would be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We have no Deshaun Watson, who is a really good young player.
But the thing about Wentz is, you're right, I believe he would be, but the fact that he's not playing and they still are is the point that, right.
It's a good way to piss off Philly fans. Tell them that they're stud young quarterback's a system quarterback.
But, I mean, like you said, you had Keenum, Bortles, and guys like Ryan, Breeze, Roethlisberger at home.
Yeah.
Like, is it really quarterback's league then? You know what I mean? Like, if all you need is a quarterback and you're good to go, then 4 of the best 5 remaining quarterbacks were at home in the Final Four, and you know what I mean, or 3 of the best 4 quarterbacks were at home, and you got Keenum, Bortles, whatever, Foles. So defense wins championships. They say that all the time too. That's one of the cliches. But it's like it's a quarterback's league, but defense wins championships. Like, no, you just need to be a good football team.
Yeah,
like it's balanced.
And that's led to this crazy narrative that the Pats defense is just being completely overlooked,
really disrespected,
completely overlooked.
Yeah.
Because all I've heard about is what's Tom Brady going to do against this defense? Like, what is Nick Foles going to do against the Pats defense? Because the Pats defense is damn good,
really good.
I've heard the Eagles have the front 4 that can get to Brady. They don't have to blitz. They had less sacks this year than the Pats did. The Pats finished with more sacks than the Eagles did.
Well, I was going to say, they've been getting a pass rush, too.
Oh, man.
This postseason.
They've looked good.
I'm not saying
James Harrison effect?
It might be. I'm not downplaying that, but I'm also not saying it is that. But it's like, man, he changed a little bit of it. Like, hey, when he's in the field, you have to account for him. Right. Because you know why he's on the field. He's not dropping back in coverage.
He had a big play. Yeah. That strip sack. They didn't get the ball, but...
Right. Yeah.
But that would have ended the game.
But it might, and then if you watch the other guys in the field, he's making that pass rush. Even if he doesn't get to the quarterback, somebody else does because they're trying to account for him.
Absolutely, and that's I do wonder because he played one game and then they had 8 sacks the next week. Yeah, and it was like, wow, okay.
And his first game, he had 2 sacks at the end of the game.
Right. So, they have like 4 or 5
Not
sacks
only
in that game.
But he's been setting the edge like a motherfucker in the run game.
Real hard.
He made that one in the Titans game. He made the tackle with one arm.
Yeah. Oh, that's the one, you were like, dude, you got to see that because I was like on my phone or something. It's like, he grabbed one arm. Like,
he was literally getting blocked and just was like, yeah, you're down. You're on the ground.
That's it, you're down. Did you see the video of him working out after the game?
He's
unbelievable.
He's a
goes to the gym. He's benching like probably 9,000 pounds. I'm guessing it had to be something like that.
2 ice cream trucks.
He's just out there benching. I'm like, you just played a football game. Like, you got to be tired, sore, beat up. You know what I mean? You're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go throw some weights around. Like, the guy's a fucking animal. So
I think I love him.
That might be the name of the episode.
I think I do. Just I think I wanted to be a Pat forever now.
Yeah. It was a really weird thing to kind of get used to. Like, to see him, it's James Harrison.
Give me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That was the first thing is when the report came out about Brady's hand.
Yeah.
Which we haven't even talked about.
Oh, yeah, right.
When the report came out about Brady's hand, the first thing I thought was like, fucking James Harrison.
Yeah.
He really was a sleeper agent. That motherfucker.
Well, that's unbelievable, too, though. The fucking hand.
Did you hear the comment from Belichick after?
What?
It wasn't fucking open heart surgery.
It wasn't open heart surgery. Yeah.
Tom's a tough guy and he did great, but
I'm not talking about open heart surgery here. Yeah, right.
Well, you know who's the one guy that we talked about especially this postseason, him coming back healthy, that stood out to me in the game? Van Noy.
Oh, he's been
real good.
He had a sack. He had 2 tackles for loss, a pass defended, a QB hit.
Nice. Yeah.
Like, he had 9 total tackles, 5 solo.
Right.
He went out there and just
does the job.
You know who I wasn't impressed with, though, in the game? Pat Chung.
He had a tough one.
He had a tough one.
He got lit up by a crackback block
early,
and it looked like it shook him.
Right.
And,
I'm not trying to make an excuse, but that's what it looked like. He was like, "Oh
not
shit!"
effective after that.
Yeah.
It worries me a little if he looks ineffective because the tight ends for Philly are
Tough.
really good.
Zach Ertz is a really, really good.
Daron Harmon, the closer.
Yeah, but Chung is usually
I'm just busting.
Chung is usually our go-to tight end
Yeah.
guy. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you have a tight end, we're going to put Pat Chung on him.
Yeah. That's going to be an interesting matchup. I think, you know who I think might do a lot of that will be Batamosi.
Yeah.
I think you'll see him kind of come in as like a fourth corner and
Or I
and
wouldn't actually
do a
be
lot of tight end
surprised if
coverage.
they did a lot of McCourty on Ertz.
Yeah.
And then leave like Harmon back there as the free as like the lurker, you know what I mean?
I think that hurts you a little bit. I know I get your angle, but I like having McCourty be the free safety.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like I like having him back there. But yeah, and also he's a good cover guy too. So if you need to cover somebody, then why not him? You know,
Yeah.
like, he's your best cover safety.
Yeah.
Like he can go cover someone at the line of scrimmage or whatever. So why not?
What was like last time we were talking about how like he's the green dot. Joe's always like, Van Noy's the green dot.
Right.
When Van Noy's not playing, who ends up having the green dot?
Is it McCourty?
Is it
McCourty.
Is it
now the defense takes a step back, and I'm not saying like, oh, it's all. Is that something to say to like?
I think it has to do with being a safety.
Yeah, I'm just saying
Yeah.
like he has a lot more to focus on as well.
Right.
So now he's got to tell somebody how to line up, and he's got to play what he's got to do, and tell the corners what I'm doing, and like
right.
And like that's a big job. It's like essentially losing the starting quarterback of your defense. When
Right.
you lose your green dot.
Yeah.
So like Van Noy stepped in. It's like we have a really good backup quarterback on our defense.
On our defense,
You know
right?
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like Hightower's our green dot, and our backup green dot is just as good.
Right.
oh yeah,
But when both of them are out,
ooh,
you can tell.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
the defense is it's not where it's all supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like there
Yeah.
are guys who are out of position; they have to make up for it. But when Van Noy is there, it seems like everyone is where they're supposed to be.
yeah,
And I wasn't super impressed with the defense versus the Jags. Like I thought to me, they shouldn't have never. You should never give up 20 points to that bad of an offense.
Yeah.
I mean, and they really locked it down. Second half, I think
right.
they only gave up 6 points.
yeah. I think what happened is you had the factor of you don't have Branch, and they weren't willing to give up the running game yet.
Yeah.
So I think that did tire that defense.
And Branch was a healthy scratch.
yeah,
I didn't love that.
Which is a weird move.
I tweeted that or
Was
posted
it-
on the Facebook group or something where I was like, having Branch be inactive is wildly frustrating because
Yeah.
you know who filled in his spot?
Brown, right? Malcolm Brown.
Well, Brown played, but the other guy I saw him making.
Adam Butler.
No. Who's the guy that owns all the?
Ricky Jean Francois
had a really good game.
has been
Francois had a
playing
good-
really
He
well.
had a good game, man.
Yeah, he did have a really good game. That's true.
Jean-Francois.
Jean-Francois. Really weird Tom Brady stat for you.
Yeah.
I took a bunch of like pictures of things I wanted to like mention on the podcast. Tom Brady in the fourth quarter and overtime in the playoffs since 2014. He's 83 out of 129 passes. So it's a 64.3 percentage. He has 864 yards, 8 touchdowns, 0 picks, 104.3 QB rating.
Yeah, he's fucking amazing.
Opposing quarterbacks in the fourth quarter and overtime versus the Patriots in the playoffs since 2014. So during those same fourth quarters that Tom Brady goes 8-0 with 800 yards. The other teams are 60 of 113 with a 53.1 completion percentage, 675 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 picks, 55 QB rating.
Damn. 6 picks.
Right. That is wild.
Daron Harmon.
Daron Harmon, just probably 5 of them. Just unbelievable.
Just that lurking motherfucker.
Yeah. But yeah, just some of the numbers that have come out these weeks, and especially like Brady being 9-14, they said 100 whatever 30 yards.
137 yards passing against the number 1 pass defense in the NFL.
Now, what do you think about the story that Giselle tried to have Jay Feely?
I think it's
Tom to
absolutely
retire?
true.
I believe it. And then do you hear what Jay Feely said?
What?
When I talked to him, I looked at Adam and I said, "Play as long as you can." And I was like, I fucking love that. That's great. Like, I can't. And he said, I couldn't tell him. How am I going to tell this guy stop? You know what I mean? Like,
I think he's going to play out his contract.
That's that next year.
No, it's 2 years, right?
No, it's next year.
No, he signed a 2-year extension this year before the start of the season.
Did he?
Yeah, so he has 2018, 2019.
I thought that was the Jimmy Garoppolo situation, that Brady's got a $22 million cap hit next year.
No, he's got a 2-year extension.
I wanna call bull on that.
I'm almost positive he signed a 2-year extension to start this year.
Okay, all right.
Because I thought that was the whole thing, was like, what are they going to do? And it's like, oh, they just signed Tom Brady.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right about that. I
think he plays next. I think he plays next year and the year after. I think that's what his contract is. Two more seasons.
Mm-hmm. And that's it? See, I think he's going for 45.
I think he is going to go for 45. I think those are the last 2 seasons he plays as a Patriot.
Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, right? 2018, 2019?
See, I don't know if it ends in 2019.
Or they ends... I think it's he plays the 2018 season.
No, you're right. 2019. You're right. 2019. Yep,
yeah.
Yep.
And then
because he gets a per game bonus, he gets $62,500 every time he plays a game in 2019.
Yeah. So I think he'll finish out that contract,
and
then part of me says he does retire, especially if the pressure from Giselle stays constant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Eventually, it wears on him.
Mm-hmm.
But if he doesn't, I just think that they move on.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be.
I also think a dark horse for the Pats to get is the kid from Oklahoma State this year. At quarterback.
Yeah.
Who's good.
Yeah. What's his name?
Oklahoma is Baker Mayfield. Oklahoma State is...
I'm not good with this stuff. With college.
I can't think of.
Do you know the Oklahoma State quarterback, Aaron?
No,
our college guy. He's got it. Aaron, you guys were all on it.
I can't think of his name.
Typing it up.
I want to say Rudolph is his last name.
Oklahoma State QB, right?
I got it.
You got it. He's got it.
Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph.
It came to me right as you guys were finding it. Yeah, I think he's projected as a second-round quarterback, and I bet you...
You know what's funny is there's an article out today by NBC.
Yeah.
Sports says that he would love to play for the Redskins.
He looks like a real doofus.
But he fits the criteria. He's like a career 60-something% passer. He graduated. He was a team captain, or he played at least 3 years.
Yeah.
It's like Belichick has like these criteria for his quarterbacks,
right? And
he hits like all of them.
No kidding. Well, I'd be interested.
He's over 6 feet tall, over a certain height.
Yeah.
They have to have completed at least 3 years of school, elected team captain, career 60% passer. He has like however many, like 80-something touchdowns or something like that to only 20 interceptions.
Yeah.
This is the kid I want them to go out and get. He's their third string quarterback.
Yeah.
I just love that. Wearing the lederhosen.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that guy.
Just totally professional.
Right. He looks like a wrestling character.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, it's probably going to be some dude from Rutgers who played like lacrosse 2 years before, and now he's a quarterback.
Yeah.
But
he's a big time curl.
I think Mason Rudolph could, after with a couple years behind Tom Brady, could be your successor.
That makes sense.
And he was a good. I mean, it's not like he's just like a random. No, I mean, he was a really good college quarterback.
Right.
And I've been expecting I'm expecting them to use a second-round pick on a quarterback.
Yeah. I'm not.
One of those 2 second-round picks will be a quarterback.
I agree with you there. So really, I mean, we're not going to predict the game.
Career 63% passer.
Mm-hmm. Next week we can do the scores.
We'll do the scores next week, right?
A 159 rating, 92 touchdowns to 26 interceptions for his 4-year college career.
That's really good.
37-9 this year.
That's really good.
It's just weird. Belichick likes to go out and get a guy that just like doesn't have any press.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that nobody wants to talk about that barely showed up to his truck didn't let him get to the combine. He had to walk. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, that guy? All right, let's talk to him.
He's got a chip on his shoulder. Yeah. Let's do it.
And the big knock against this kid is that he's from Oklahoma State, runs kind of like a spread offense.
Oh, yeah. Really wide open.
But Jimmy Garoppolo also ran a spread offense.
Yeah.
Where did he go?
Eastern Illinois State.
Eastern Illinois, yeah. They were like a spread offense, so obviously Belichick's not. Mm-hmm. That doesn't scare him away. He thinks they can learn the system once they're there. So, I mean, I think it could be 2 more years of Tom Brady.
Huh? I'm going 5.
You think?
I think he goes for 45.
You don't think there's going to be? I mean, there's already reports, and I don't take a lot of stock in the Wickersham report, but there's already reports about a rift. Mm-hmm. And I buy into the fact that Bill or Tom, I think it's mainly Bill, wants to prove he can win
without the other
one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's foolish, though.
I think Tom honestly doesn't give a fuck. I think he just wants to win.
He wants to win every Super Bowl. Yeah, right. I don't think it.
And I think people overplay. Like a lot of people say, like, "Oh, Bill and Tom will leave together." I don't think they have that relationship.
I don't think that will happen.
I think it's a very much like you're the boss, I'm the employee.
Right.
We are work acquaintances.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm not going to hang out with you outside of this. Like,
right.
I just predict, like, after they're both done, like, they're both going to ride off into the sunset, whether it's 2 years or 5 years from now.
Yeah. You think they're going to do it together?
Going to do it together, and then we're just going to hear about them going to Vegas and just, like, doing lines off of hookers. Just tons of fucked up shit.
Just go nuts.
We didn't do it the whole time we played, the whole time we were there. Now let's go nuts.
Yeah. No, they, I think that there's a lot of structure in that organization in general. I think because Bill was even saying, Robert Kraft's my boss. Like, I'm his employee. You know what I mean? I love
I think
that's really how I believe Brady feels the same way. Like, well, no, that's coach. And you know what I mean? Like, okay, you're my boss. I'm your employee, whatever. And I'm sure there are points where Tom says, dude, I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, I can talk to you. But there was like remember the first Football Life where they were talking about Ed Reed together?
Yeah.
And then, and Brady came up with a play like, what if we had Moss like post and Welk go like this or whatever, and Bill's like, so you're talking about having him like this, and then like Brady came up with a play right there. Yeah, I get what you're saying, and then they work together. So I think it's like I think there's a huge mutual respect on a purely football level, but I think there's also sometimes where it's like, dude, like you rip me all the time, you know what I mean? Like, and I get it, like you need to, and I'm not perfect, and I know, but it's like, I would like, and I had a boy here and there, like it's human nature, where at some point you want to be told, like, hey, great job.
There's also a really good picture of them right after they won the Jet.
Hugging the shit out of each other. Yeah, right. Yeah,
so, I mean...
I think they really care about each other, and I think that they're fine. I just think that there's probably... You work or live with or are friends with anybody for 18 years, you're going to get tired of them at some point. And
also,
not forever, but you're going to... Like,
every season they talk about it. like, you spend that much time together, plus the postseason... Off season,
they spend
off
more
season
games together than anyone else.
It's just insane how much time you have to spend together.
I can buy that there was an argument about what to do with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
And you should and that there should have been that conversation.
So they might have had think about this for Wickersham's report, because it was just an anonymous source. It wasn't like it was Belichick or
right.
Or it was Kraft. So it's someone who heard it secondhand or maybe even third hand. Right. So imagine it's like Bill and Kraft come out of the office. They're both upset. Someone asks one of them what went on, and just like, we couldn't agree on.
Garoppolo, right.
It was just like, what should we do with Jimmy Garoppolo? That was what the argument was. That person tells another person, and now the story has morphed into they had an argument about Tom and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right. Yeah.
And now the narrative kind of just takes on its own thing. Someone eventually tells Wickersham like, oh yeah.
Right.
One wanted this, one wanted that, but it might not even have been what it was. Like, everyone is just speculating.
Right. Yeah, it's a bunch of what ifs.
And the thing is, sports media, the story is gospel. Yeah. That report is gospel.
Oh, right, of course, yeah. Oh no, that's exactly what happened.
And it's insane. Right. Like, it's just like, no, that's wild speculation. Like, Wickersham writes great report. Wickersham is the dude who wrote about the warm Gatorade. He's the dude who wrote about like Gillette Stadium is built so Belichick has his own private fucking thing.
View of the replays and stuff. Yeah,
it's an insane report that was written.
Yep.
It's the same thing with everybody. Like Ozzy, my buddy Ozzy, tagging me in every meme about the ref, saying good game to them afterwards and stuff like that.
He was the closest guy to Tom Brady. This is the most insane thing.
Right.
He's just right there.
Right.
You know who the second person was who said congratulations to Tom Brady? Calais Campbell.
I was going to say a Jacksonville Jaguar.
Right, yeah. Absolutely.
I was like, I didn't hear a comment about that. Right. Like how they didn't like that.
Right. No,
I've seen so many like, it's the Eagles versus the Patriots, and the Patriots is just a picture of the referees. Or like the image of the referee in the
in the end zone.
Yeah, and he's smiling.
Yeah.
Like, watch the whole clip. He's not there at the start. He goes to break them up.
Yeah, right. And they were, because let's not forget, Jack punched James White in the mouth.
Yeah.
Right? They break up a fight there.
Yeah.
Shaq Mason's in there and is cursing out Jack. And then you kind of see the ref like, all right.
Yeah, he's saying, calm down.
Calm down. All right, guys.
He's like smiling and saying, calm down.
When he ran in, he pushed two people apart, and it was James White and Shaq Mason. Then you kind of laugh because they're on the same team, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of see him like, hey, all right, you guys are okay, whatever. But kind of just like, all right, get back to your sideline. I wouldn't be surprised if Shaq Mason was like, lick my grundle or something. It's like, wow, okay, all right. You know what I mean? Like, that's really funny, but like, just cool it. We got to go somewhere.
What's up with teams getting chippy with the Pats when they lose?
I think it happens a lot. It happened with the Saints or the Vikings game at the end of that game.
They got chippy?
Yeah.
Well, that's different. Wait, the Vikings-Eagles?
Vikings-Eagles, yeah, the NFC Championship. Yeah. It's just...
I was going to say, Vikings-Saints, they like made the Saints come back out for that thing. I was like, I would have been pissed off too. Just like
no, the end of that game was pushing and shoving, and you know what I mean? It's been happening.
I feel like it happens with the Pats a lot. Like the end of the Seahawks Super Bowl, they got chippy.
A wild frustration level.
Oh, yeah. The Jags were like, we fucking had this.
Right.
I think the only team that didn't show a lot of chippiness at the end had to be Atlanta.
Right. I think they're just in disbelief.
Atlanta was probably in shock.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, they're just so dumbfounded by what happened.
And the game ended.
Yeah.
Like that.
Also,
like, when
a lot of
won,
times there's chippiness on the kneel down. And there was no kneel down in the Atlanta game. Exactly. It was just like the game's over.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it was like touchdown, game over. Okay. And then there was no opportunity to get them back because they haven't beat you yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but, yeah, it happens. But, I mean, really, you got to think. You're up 10. Okay, here we go. And
no Gronk.
In your mind, you're thinking, we can't let them do this. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to be so far in their fucking head at that point. Like we talked about, if the Falcons made it to the Super Bowl again, and it was Pats Falcons, how do you ever feel good in that game? You're up 31 in the third quarter.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I mean, there's still like
there's
five more minutes than there was last time. There's 25 points.
If you're any team playing the Pats,
right?
There's no way you feel good about your lead.
It's unbelievable. You're right. You can't just sit there and be like, okay, here we go. And the Jags started to do it, too. 5 straight possessions after they scored the first one.
Yeah.
Run on first down.
Yep.
Deep pass, incompletion. Run on first down. Or run on third down.
Yeah.
So you go 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7, incomplete pass. Now it's 3rd and 7, 4th and 4, punt. Run, pass, run.
How about getting the ball with 55 seconds left and 2 timeouts?
And just squatting.
And kneeling on it.
Unbelievable.
That's an insane move.
You
got to go get a field goal.
You got to get a field goal. Absolutely. And you get the ball back. Yeah. It would have been 20-10.
You would never see the Pats do that.
Right.
Would never happen.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. It would have been 17-10 going into the half, and then you get the ball back.
I mean,
that's a totally
even if they did that, they would have lost 24-23.
Right.
But
right. But that's, I mean, it's still a different, you don't know. And
I mean, it could affect play calling. It could affect all sorts of shit.
Right. And the Patriots would have needed.
You take momentum back?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, because the Pats just scored.
You pretty much surrendered momentum.
Right, yeah. Oh, no, you can have it. No, just like, no problem. And then that's the thing. For the Jags, an experienced team.
That was, I'm trying not to lose.
Right. And that's it.
That's not playing to win.
It's playing not to lose.
It's playing not to lose.
It's running away from the Patriots and tripping all over your fucking self. Like, it's
the
like,
Eagles
hey, we have the lead.
The Eagles did it with 37 seconds left. They marched down the field and got a kick, a field goal before half. And they were up.
Right.
They were already kicking the shit out of the Vikings at that point.
Right, you got to go, and that's the one thing I like about the Eagles is they seem to have a little bit of that killer instinct in them.
Yeah.
But I wonder, when you play the Pats, it just seems different. It always seems like it's a different situation. And would they do that, next weekend?
No,
you know what I mean.
They will because they're going to have Chris Long and the Garrett Blount on the sideline. Like, no,
we have to. No, we're going for it.
We're not.
Yeah.
Call a run play again, Doug. Do it. Watch what happens. Throw this fucking ball.
I was going to say, that's the big narrative right now. It's like, oh my God, they get their chance to beat the Patriots, the team that they were on last year, and they didn't get enough respect from them. Like, you got a Super Bowl.
Right.
You both didn't have one.
Right.
Or was Blunt on one of those teams?
Blunt was on the Seahawks one.
Also, also Long got offered a contract, I'm pretty sure. And he's like, I want to leave.
He wanted a better...
He said he wanted a bigger role.
Defensive end.
Yeah.
Right, he wanted a bigger role, right.
Well, he wanted to be... He didn't want to do what James Harrison's doing. I'll come out on passing downs.
Yeah, no, he wanted to be a defensive end.
Yeah, he wanted to play. He wanted to play all 3 downs.
Right. Yep. And I'm not even sure that he's doing that much there.
I think he doesn't play all 3 downs, but he plays defensive
he plays
end.
more. Yeah.
He plays rush the passer.
Right.
He doesn't play
hold that man up
or drop or drop in coverage or anything like that.
Plug
he plays
that zone. Yeah. Right.
I think in New England he was more of like a 3-4 outside linebacker, and in Philly he's a defensive end.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
pin your ears back and go.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. And good for him. Yeah, I don't really know what I don't know what to expect. I would say from the blunt long factor or whatever. I just
think Blunt's going to be smoking a blunt.
Right, probably.
At the end of the game going, well, I mean,
victory or
no, I think it's just well, I mean, I was there last year. Right. I mean, and I made it back, but I didn't win.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about this game, the Super Bowl.
It's a weird one because there's no
storyline.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just feels like a very weak.
Right.
Even though I'm not saying the teams are weak.
Right. No, I think the Eagles are a really good team, and I think it's going to be a good game.
I
also think it's going to be the biggest margin of victory the Patriots have ever had in the Super Bowl.
You think they're going to stomp them?
I don't think stomp them, but I would say somewhere between 7 and 13 points. They win by 10.
Do you think it's a close? It comes down to the wire.
I think it's a close 10, like
Philly threatens.
Yeah, not great. Like let's say you're up 17-14 in the fourth. 5 minutes left. It's tight. 5 minutes left. Brady goes, scores a touchdown. It's 24-14. Eagles throw a pick. Game over. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing where it's tight. You kind of pull away at the end.
I don't like this narrative now that Foles is this amazing quarterback because they stomped. Granted, the Vikings have the number one defense or whatever.
Right.
But eventually that game just got away from them. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
And
I was gonna say I'm finally on Joe's wavelength when it's I just want him to win so decidedly
I'm sick of close games.
I want it to be in the fourth quarter where Bill Belichick, not that Bill Belichick's going to party or any of them are going to get excited, but I want them to be able to be yeah, the fourth quarter, I was happy to be there.
Right. I don't
not fucking losing years off of my life, getting more gray hairs.
I've heard a lot of people I just want a good game, and I respond to them I don't. Right. I want a horrible game. I want a terrible.
I'll take a Denver Panthers Super Bowl.
I want a Super Bowl that's over by the start of the third quarter. Right. Just blowout.
Right.
In hand.
I'm sorry, not Denver
just
Panthers. Seahawks Denver.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
I don't need 35.
No, I do. I need 35-3.
Of course. You would. 35-8. I don't need 35-8. So random.
2 field goals and 2 drop kicks.
Yeah. I don't need that. I don't need that.
Unbelievable.
But
6 drop kicks and a safety.
I don't need that, God. But I just want to see them really just be able to put a stamp on it.
I want
and be
multiple touchdown margin of victory.
I think my score, and I'll revise this before I put my final stamp on it, but I think I'm looking at 31-20.
Yeah.
I think it's probably what I'm looking at, what I want. I'll feel good, and it won't be a bad game. I want it to be exciting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want it to be okay, well, this is
There's a kid I went to high school with who hates the Patriots, and he's an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
And he's just you Patriots fans fucking suck. You guys don't even realize how cocky you sound all the time. And I was I feel like we're just realistic.
Right.
I was my prediction for the Jaguars game was 31-17. He's oh, so you just predicted you were going to double the team's score.
Right.
And I was how is that not realistic score?
Right.
It's not it's not like a blowout.
I don't know, you call it 59-3 or
also,
something.
Also, do your math. 31-17 is not doubling someone's score.
Not double, but yep.
I was that's to think that the Pats are good enough to do that is not unrealistic at all.
Right.
They were 10-point favorites until Brady's hand got hurt.
Right.
And I'm projecting they win by what? 31-17 is what?
14 points.
Yeah. So, how far?
2 scores, 10 points or 2 scores, it doesn't matter. That's just a touchdown as opposed to a field goal.
Yeah.
Somewhere. You know what I mean?
Well, I had somebody come up to me that's not a NFL fan at all, and he came to me, he's does Tom Brady's hand, after the game, he's hey, was it Tom Brady's hand really cut? I was yeah, he had 14 stitches in his palm, and he's that's crazy, to go out there and still play. And I'm I don't think he felt it.
Right.
I bet he felt some itchiness and weirdness because I'm sure whatever he was taking to numb that area was but also you don't want to numb it too much because you got to feel the ball.
You got to feel it, right? Yeah.
And not wearing the glove,
That's
which is a ballsy move.
Some fucking woman called EEI after the game and says, what was it that they were putting on Tom's hand? And Fred Smirla says, it was adhesive. It was glue to keep the tape stuck to his hand because on the top part, he's it was to keep the tape down or whatever. I don't know. sure seems like he played pretty well after they put that on. And he's like, what are you insinuating? And she's like, well, I mean, he's a cheater. I wouldn't be surprised if it was some sort of like, performance enhancing thing or whatever. And he's like, okay, thanks for calling. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? The guy put glue on. Like, he put glue on the top of his hand, nothing to do with the inside or whatever.
Yeah, they're literally gluing the tape. Like, it was very obvious what they were doing.
Yeah, because they like pull it up a little bit.
Also, what is this performance enhancing shit that you just rub on your hand and all of a sudden you can make perfect reads and throws?
Exactly.
I mean,
and why isn't every quarterback doing it?
Right, yeah.
I mean, you ask Barry Bonds, he just rubs some cream on
just rubs some cream on. That's all.
The clear.
Barry Bonds just has to hit home runs, though. Tom Brady has to pick who to throw to.
Yeah, I know.
Before.
I'm just saying, like,
he has this cream that makes him.
That's the mentality.
Right. Oh, the logic is crazy. It's insane.
He's 39 years old and doing this. There's no fucking way. And I'm like,
people 100% believe that the refs want the Patriots to win.
Right.
Like
the NFL doesn't.
Right.
It's not you can't explain.
And they work for the NFL.
You can't explain it to them.
Right.
Oh, did you see that? What was it? The delay a game that was awfully fast. I was like, yeah, the people who run the clock work for the NFL. They don't work for the Pats.
Right.
So,
remember, because they even tried doing that in the Titans game with the long 1 second, right before halftime with the Amendola catch or whatever. And Tony Romo was like, "Oh man, that seems like a Gillette worker. Did you see how long that second stayed up there or whatever? Now they get a chance to kick a field goal."
Also, how do you do that? Is there like a pause?
Right.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, just like stop now. Like, there must be like a stop button or whatever. I'm assuming, but. He says, he's like, must be a Gillette guy. They come back from the commercial break. Jim Nantz had to be like, so we were informed that it's not an actual Patriot employee that controls the clock. It's actually an NFL thing. The NFL runs it or whatever. So there's no. I know Tony made the joke about Gillette Stadium, but we just want to be clear. It's obviously an NFL thing or whatever. Yeah. And it's like. It's funny because now everyone that says it, like Tony, I think you could do that about the Falcons or something and say, oh man, it looks like they got a little bit of home cooking or whatever, and everyone will laugh. But like with the Patriots, you say it, and it was like, Tony Romo said it, a Gillette guy controls the clock, and it's like, here we go. The NFL knows. They know it. They called it.
So,
like, oh my God.
I saw a guy on Facebook post like, oh, the refs, they
you
never.
See that video?
Oh, it's hilarious.
The hand up thing. You see this?
Just like read the rule book. They get 25 seconds extra after certain stoppages.
Right. Brady puts his hand up. Look at that, and they reset the play clock to 25 seconds. Like,
I saw a dude post on Facebook like, no other team does shady shit like the Pats do, and I was like, correction.
Right.
The Falcons lost a draft pick because they were pumping in crowd noise.
Right.
The Colts have been accused of it forever, and it never got proven.
Right.
The Browns lost. Their GM got suspended because he was illegally communicating with the sideline.
Right.
The Chargers are on tape putting stickum on a towel and then rubbing it on the ball.
Right. Yeah. And then what was the game?
And then they destroyed the towel when it was asked by the NFL, can we have that towel? Right. They destroyed it. Right. Kind of like, I don't know, a star quarterback destroying a phone and then getting suspended for 4 games.
Yeah.
But they got no penalty.
No penalty, right.
It's the same
thing.
The
Raiders are on camera this year.
Right, they're the one heating
putting the ball in front of a heater, which is illegal.
Right.
And you can see them
they're look
around suspiciously to make sure that no one can see them.
Right. Unbelievable.
The Saints.
Right.
They fucking suspended their coach for an entire season.
Right, yeah. It's so there's that your team.
Mike Tomlin tripped a player. He fucking tripped a guy. That directly affects an outcome.
Have you ever seen the video? There's a video from way back when. Had to be like, I don't remember whether he was like a bear or not, but this is like black and white footage. A football player, like discouraged with how the game's going, just comes off the sideline, lays a dude out, and then walks back and just takes his helmet off and sits down on the bench.
Holy shit.
And it's just like, what the fuck?
That's incredible.
Like, how did that just like Tomlin, like, what just happened?
I can't even take it when Steelers fans complain.
Yeah.
Your coach is a cheater. He tripped a guy in a game.
Right.
And he got punished for it.
He changed the physical outcome of an individual play within the game.
Yes.
Like, it's unbelievable.
My dad, Pittsburgh fan,
still
hasn't watched a game.
Really?
And really didn't know. He was
now,
he's like, he knew the Patriots were in. He's like, I don't even know who they're playing. I'm like, You live under a rock, Dad? And he's like, I'm not watching it. Anything they talk about the NFL, I just change the channel.
Is he going to ever come back, or is he just done forever?
I said he pretty much said, he's like, listen, they need to do something.
Yeah.
He goes, I haven't seen them do enough apology for the way that they're. He goes, and the player and my stepmom, they're still doing it, Aaron. I'm like, okay, I don't know that. I don't pay attention to preseason.
They don't even air it. They don't air it.
Yeah, they don't air it.
Right.
That's what it is.
Well, they aired it this year. I mean, they aired the national anthem.
Yeah, did they show the sidelines?
For both. Oh, I don't know. I know it wasn't actually.
Right.
I just don't give a fuck about it.
Right, yeah, I don't care.
No, but that's just
to look for
right.
it. You know what I mean?
Like, and that's.
I thought they did. Yeah, they showed Tom Brady.
But I don't know if they'll show someone kneeling.
Oh, maybe not.
I think
they may not pan to
when
that
they
guy.
did the Pats all had their hand on their heart, and I noticed that Tom Brady didn't.
Right. He never does, which is really, or not never, but he does that a lot. You ever see the time where he blew a snot rocket right during the middle of the national anthem? People were like, he's such a disrespectful fuck, and I was like,
he blows snot rockets all the time.
Yeah, he does it all the time, right? I mean, if you got to blow it, it's not. You're standing and doing your thing. It's fine.
It's wrong, dude. It's wrong.
That's not. No, that's
also
that's
the dude who
crazy.
did the dude who did
you can't cough, fart, burp. Like
the dude who did the national anthem for the Pats game.
Yeah.
Got blown out of the water by the
Vikings.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
I didn't like the guy who did it for the Pats.
Me neither. I thought
he
it was really
played that guitar the whole time, and he was
really
like
weird.
off rhythm.
Yeah. Didn't love it.
No, not a
Didn't
fan.
love it either. I didn't like it either. That's probably why Tom Brady was like, well, I'm not proud of this. I'm not proud of this performance. No, sir.
I think he was also on the end, so I think he had someone's hand on his shoulder, and then he was just standing.
Yeah. So, yeah, whatever. Like, just
Did you see him yell at the camera guy?
Get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
I love that. He's been, and like it was Shannon said, he just seems angry this year. Really angry.
Also,
Part of the Wickersham report. But.
Did you see the before the Titans game, he's like running down the sideline, and his like knee buckles.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the brace on his knee.
Right.
And I was like, "What the fuck?
What just happened?
Yeah,
we okay here?
Does he have a 20 ACL?
Dude, he.
And then he had the brace on for the game, but he didn't when he first came out.
Yeah. That was a little weird. He was like his knee gave out on him.
Yeah.
You seen him before this game too, like where he was like squatting on the bench, like he was kind of like he had his hands on the bench and was like squatting down.
No.
And he just was looking like it felt like right at the camera, and I was like, oh my god, like he's looking into my soul. Yeah. He just looked so intense, like he just like looking. I'm like, oh my god, and I was like, fear boner. Like I have a fear boner right now, but it was he just seems fired up, dude. I'm so pumped for this game. I wish it was this Sunday. I hate the 2 weeks.
Early prediction before a Super Bowl show.
Yeah,
this is the Super Bowl where they score in the first quarter.
I hope. Like I said, I want this, like, they get on top and just never
This is the Super Bowl where they score in the first quarter.
The whole narrative is going to be, and we already know it, the whole narrative.
Defense versus Tom Brady.
They didn't have Carson Wentz. I'm like,
I already told a Philly person, I don't want to hear we would have won if we had Carson Wentz. Because you don't.
Right.
I don't care. I don't care.
Right.
We would have won if David Tyree dropped that ball. We would have won if Mario Manningham doesn't make an incredible catch on the sideline.
Or if Wes Welker.
Yeah, or if Wes Welker can't drop the ball. We would have won all these different things, but...
And we would have lost the Super Bowl if Vince Terry didn't make the Rams kick.
Yeah.
Or
damn straight.
Yeah, right. That's why he's the goddamn MVP. And we would have lost the Super Bowl if the Seahawks ran the ball.
Yeah,
like,
I don't want to hear... I don't want to hear it.
Right.
He's not playing.
Right.
Get over it.
And you know what?
What is your excuse?
Right, yeah, what is
your excuse? You haven't had him for fucking 6 weeks now or whatever.
And we would have won the Super Bowl if we had Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski and Dante Hightower and fuck off, injuries happen.
The Eagles kid I know was like, well, they're missing their MVP caliber quarterback.
Yeah.
They're all pro left tackle. They're starting middle linebacker. Their corner. Whatever. Oh, I was like, we're missing our all-pro wide receiver, our starting right tackle, our backup right tackle, our star middle linebacker, a corner. The only thing we're not missing that you're missing is our Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah, right.
But we have just as many injuries as the Eagles do. That's why I don't want to hear it.
Right.
It's why I don't want to hear it.
Exactly. Yeah.
With the Hall of Fame voting going on with the MLB, is Brady going to be like a unanimous decision?
In the MLB?
No. in the
Hall of Fame. He was an expo.
He was an expo. That's true.
What if
No,
he was
it
just
was-
so good they put him in the MLB Hall of Fame?
They put him in all of them.
They put him in NBA too.
He's just
Never
like they
even
just make a
played.
sports Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
and he's the first inductee.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like you know how it is like when Maddox
unanimous MVP?
Yeah, like when Maddox
Or-
got in was like, no, there's never been a unanimous Hall of Famer. I'm not voting for him.
Oh yeah.
Do you think they're going to do that to Brady? You mean?
Yeah,
You know, in the NFL, I don't know. The baseball writers of America sucks, and
I could
hate their vote.
absolutely see.
as much as everybody hates Dan, was it Dan?
Shaughnessy,
No. Was it Lapitar?
Dan
Le
Levitard, yeah.
The guy that put out his.
Yeah.
So
I hate Dan Levitard too.
But what he did was hilarious to me. Like he let his fans vote it.
yeah.
Do his vote.
It's such a
and
joke.
He
dude.
lost his vote. He lost
Right.
his vote
He
for
should.
they stripped him of his vote.
He
And I was
absolutely
like,
should.
yeah, but that's the absurdity of the voting.
Right.
As soon as he heard, because he said he was in meetings
Right.
and heard them say, "There's never been a unanimous Hall of Famer.
Right.
I will not vote for him." Mm-hmm. What does that have to do with Greg Maddux being a Hall of Famer or not?
Yeah, but that guy sucks. I don't think
That's what I'm saying.
you should also make
No,
make
no,
fun
no,
of
but
it.
that's-
but there is
I think
definitely a flaw with the way
I think it
Oh, of
put
course,
a. I think it like, and I'm not agreeing with it, but it's like taking a knee on the sideline.
Right.
You're putting an eye on something that's
Right,
You
yeah,
feel
yeah.
is stupid or wrong.
right.
it's like,
I get
oh,
you.
so and so wasn't a unanimous Hall of Famer. You know what I
Like
mean?
it's crazy that Griffey wasn't.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
insane.
that is
It's
crazy. That is
absolutely
crazy.
Maddox,
That is crazy.
Griffey,
Maddox,
like
right.
guys
And
that
the people who
deserve it.
who don't vote it, like they're always like, well, so and so wasn't a
Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
That's the big one. It's Babe
Right, right.
Ruth wasn't a
Right.
unanimous Hall of Famer.
Right.
I'm like, Babe Ruth was an alcoholic. He would eat
In the-
hot dogs
in the-
during the
in the
game.
way-
Like he was a fat slob.
way
There was
that-
a reason why he didn't get a unanimous vote.
and the way the major
But he was a great player.
and the way the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame works is you pick like, what is it, 4 people or 5 people?
Yeah, you like rank
Yeah.
them.
You like
It's-
write a list.
Yeah.
Right,
that
yeah.
means someone didn't have Ken Griffey on their list.
Yes.
No. I think it's.
No, that's what it is.
Yeah.
No, I
He's-
think you vote. I think you rank them.
No. You put.
I think you have to have the
you
number
pick
one.
a list.
You put a certain.
There's a
amount.
list.
You put. I think you're allowed like 8 or 10.
Yeah,
You
you're
put
right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of
you
the
write-
MVP. I'm
you
thinking
write,
of the MVP.
You write them
Yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah.
You're right. You're right.
And then they have to go
That
through and.
Right.
That means out of
Right.
the however amount nominees,
think
someone didn't put Griffey on their whole list.
What do you
Right.
need? Isn't it like 70%?
I don't know.
Or something like that. Well, I know it's for the for MLB. It's like 70%. I know.
No, there are to bring it back to Brady. There are
Yeah.
absolutely going to be people who, because of Spygate and Deflategate,
Yeah,
don't put Tom Brady on the list.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I think,
of course. Yeah,
I think he will be a first ballot Hall of Famer,
Right.
Because it would be ridiculous
Yeah.
to not.
Yeah.
But I do think there are just
Right.
absolutely people just filled with just hate that
Right.
won't
Yeah.
vote for him.
So my buddy just texted me now during the show and says, "How serious is this Brady retirement talk?" And I said, "I think Giselle's been pretty public about him not wanting to play anymore. That's all it seems like to me." So I googled just Brady retirement to see if there was some sideline story, something
Yeah.
I didn't know. And all it is Giselle came out and said, "I'm dead serious about him retiring."
Yeah, she was dead serious last
Right?
year.
Yeah, last year. Yeah, and he said
And
tough shit.
he said, "I'm having too much fun."
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah, if they're saying that he's angry this year,
Right.
he's not having fun anymore.
I don't think he'll retire and leave the Patriots in the wind like this. Like,
Me and Kevin were talking about that. About you'll know if there's a problem if he just comes out and says like,
Yeah, I'm
well,
done.
Yeah, I'm done. Now, if he retires, like, hey guys, you know what? 2-time 3 out of 4s. You know what I mean? Just won my second dynasty era or whatever. It doesn't. Yeah, I'm probably gonna win MVP this year. Let's say he wins MVP, wins the Super Bowl, wins the Super Bowl MVP. Like, this is the mountaintop, man. Most rings ever.
I'm setting the percentage at 0.
That he retires.
0% he retires this year.
Yeah.
There's no way Edelman would be like, you can't retire. I didn't play this year.
Yeah, just like I need you.
They're
Like,
really
I
good
need
friends.
you.
He's like, there's no way you retire without playing one more year with me.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
It's 0. It's 0.
does it lead to a divorce? Do you think?
For
Like,
me,
just
it's
like-
0. It's
choose football over her.
For me, it's 0, and the way he gets around it is
Mm-hmm.
saying, let me play out my contract.
Right.
Let me play out my contract.
It's true.
Like we need the money.
I'll
Let
re-
me finish this contract.
I'll retire.
You don't model as much as you used
Listen,
to. Fucking,
I
gotta
know-
jack up
Doesn't
the
anymore.
slack
She
around here.
retired.
Right.
I
Exactly.
know you really want me to retire.
Yeah.
I'll give you an end date.
Right.
Let me finish out my contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't you think he would have already
And-
done that so she would stop publicly stating she doesn't want him to
He
play?
might not have He might not have last year because I think he just signed that.
He did, yeah. His previous contract was up at the end of this year.
Yeah.
So he just signed
I think he just signed it. So he might not have because he literally didn't know how much longer he wanted to play, like 45, whatever.
Right.
Seeing how serious she is about it, he might just be like, just let me finish it out. Let me finish out this contract.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that way he doesn't leave the Pats in the wind. You know what I mean? Because I do think he genuinely, even if Belichick and him have like a work relationship, him and Kraft have a very personal relationship.
Right.
And I don't think he would do that to Robert
I believe
Kraft.
He's definitely closer with Kraft than Bill.
And I don't think he would do that to Robert Kraft.
Yeah.
So he would be like, I'm not going to leave you in the wind with no quarterback.
Right.
Get someone, develop him behind me, and it will be no secret to Robert Kraft when Tom Brady is going to retire.
Right.
Robert Kraft will know, and through osmosis, Bill Belichick will know.
Right. Now, wasn't there a story? Am I crazy that there was a story that Rob said he knows when Brady's retiring?
He knows when Belichick's going to retire.
When Belichick's going to retire. That's what it was. Okay.
He knows when Bill.
Yeah, Bill wants to. Yeah,
I think Bill Belichick's going to coach until he's 70. I don't know how old he is right now.
I think he's 64.
Yeah, so I think
oldest coach in football.
I think we'll have Belichick longer than we have Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably true.
I think we will.
Yeah. Yep. I could see that.
I'm all in on the 2 more years thing.
That's not a bad pick. I really thought he was going to go to 45 because I believed him, and he's got that Tom versus Time documentary.
Yeah, he said
so
he wants to.
Right.
I think Giselle will wear on him.
I think Tom versus Time. It's a weird thing. It could be, hey, look, I won the Super Bowl. I'm the oldest person to win a Super Bowl.
I'm already playing this level at 40,
right.
which has
I'm at 40.
never been done.
Incredible, right? Yeah. That's good for my brand. But I also don't think doing Tom versus Time and then
retiring
and then being like, but I'm done. You know what I mean?
That's why I don't think he's retiring now.
I don't think that helps the TB12 idea, brand or whatever. So yeah, I think he's got a couple years, and if he can stay at peak performance or whatever his thing is, elasticity and pliability and all that, then sure, yeah.
And also, if I think if the Pats are like, I know you want to play, but I think we have to make this move, I think he would just retire.
Yeah.
I don't think he would, especially if Giselle just wants him to retire.
Right.
I don't think he would be like, not only am I not going to retire, I'm going to move the whole family to Kansas City or,
I think
or something like that.
That pressure, I think he would have played. I think he would have kept playing. I don't think he
if Giselle was like,
just
do whatever you want.
Yeah. I think he would go to Kansas City or whatever. Do. Yeah.
But if she wants him to retire and the Pats are just like, we have to move on.
Right.
Like Mason is ready. We have to move on.
I really don't like that Giselle's doing this.
Yeah,
it rubs me the wrong way. Like, aren't you supposed to be supportive of your partner?
It's the same thing.
And fucking,
but you know what? To look on her side, though, she gets stuck with a lot of shit while he. Right. Well, I mean, she probably doesn't. They probably have nannies
and shit, right? Yeah.
But I mean, it's a lot of time that he's away.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you had kids. Like,
right.
Focus on them.
Right.
But that's
mold those human beings. He probably
misses like school recitals and concerts, and she probably just wants him around for that.
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
And I'm sure if it was me, I'd be like, I don't want to be there either. I get it.
I also think she's genuinely worried about his health.
That's absolutely true. I think that's the thing. Like, he's going to wind up blowing his fucking brains out and killing us all one day.
No, I was going to say, do you think like she met Jim McMahon and was just like, that can't happen?
Yeah, right.
I think.
Junior Seau came to our house and then then put a shotgun in his chest like, Jesus Christ.
I think the concussion shit scared her and didn't scare Tom Brady.
Scared Tom, right?
Yeah.
Because he's like, I got concussion water.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I drink this shake.
Yeah,
we're
we sell
good.
Concussion water.
Tom Brady thinks you can drink so much water that you don't get sunburned. That's
Thing.
insane.
Really?
That's
I don't want to say this about the GOAT, but that's a serial killer.
That's a wild thing. He thinks you hydrate enough that your skin would never burn.
You can just walk out in the palest, whitest skin into the sun, and as long as you have an IV of water, you won't get sunburned.
That's what he thinks. I'm just going
to bring like a jug with me and just walk around. If I get sunburned, I'm suing.
Yeah.
He told me I didn't.
It's a wild take.
Yeah.
It's a wild take.
He's like, no, I believe that, if you stay hydrated, you can help. Obviously.
He also believes that like his pajamas genuinely improve your health, as opposed to just like.
Dave was on board.
I still, excuse me, I believe in confidence. Like, I believe in...
Are you like one of those fighting guys? Like, you think the fighting sleeve or the... what are those bands that a lot of baseball players wear?
Oh, like the kinetic energy ones?
Yeah.
The kinetic energy band, the balance bands or whatever. Yeah. I think I believe in confidence.
Like, watch this. Push me.
Right.
Oh my God,
Right,
I'm falling
yeah,
over.
yeah.
Watch,
Push
I put this
me.
band on.
Yeah, push me out.
No, you're clearly just not trying to fall over now.
Right.
Like I can tell.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's the band.
It's the band. Right. I am now. My center of gravity is connected, and
Yeah.
I'm fine. No, I believe in confidence. I think that when you believe in what you're doing and you think it works, I think it works more.
He buys into
Right.
it. Whether it works or not, because he buys into it, it works.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
If you think something's bad's going to happen all the time, you'll find a way to make that bad thing happen subconsciously. You know what I mean? So I believe it's all your outlook. If you think, hey, my offensive line's going to protect me here, I'm fine, I can stand back here, I might have to make a move, then when the play happens and you just have to make a move and you throw it, then you're like, here we go. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you start to feel it. You believe it. You think it's real. It's the same thing with Kevin going to his dad's house and then coming home for the Super Bowl at halftime and being like, damn it. Just like, I have to watch this here. And you really start to feel it. It's like superstition in a way or whatever, where you just start to believe it. It's not weird if it's working.
Yeah,
kind of
someone,
thing, you know what I mean?
my work was offering tickets to the AFC Championship game. They were like $500. But you got like 2 hours of this pregame thing, and then you got to sit in like the Mason suite or whatever. And my buddy was like, "Would you ever buy that?" And I was like, "No, I would never go watch the game there."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why?" I was like, "I have to watch it at my parents' on the smallest TV,
Right.
because if I
It's just
don't,
what you do.
they'll lose."
Right.
And I've watched games, like I text my dad like, "Hey, I'm not coming over this time. I'm just gonna watch at home," and they lose, and I'm like, "Motherfucker!"
See, Kevin has a really wild record. We used to watch the games together at his house. Then I moved out further away from him or whatever. So he kept the tradition going, and he's probably like 36-3 or something while watching games there. Like some unbelievable record. And
or the Pats are just 36-3.
right, of course, yeah, right. But so last year, so the very first time that he upset the apple cart was the AFC Championship that we lost to Denver before when they went on to lose to Seattle, right? That AFC Championship. So the really great offensive year for Manning. Well, I was at his house that year. We were 11-0 while I went to his house for all those games. So it's that morning, and I call him like, "Hey, like, ready for me to come over?" He says, "Oh no, man, I'm going to my friend Julia's." And I'm like, he said, "Didn't Julia text you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I told her to fuck off. I'm going to Kevin's house." Like, no, of course, whatever. And she's like, he says, No, we're gonna go there. Come there, watch the game there. I'm like, Kevin, it's the fucking AFC Championship, man. Like, what are you doing? Why are you switching up locations here? And he was like, dude, he's like, are you serious? And I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like the way this feels, right? And he's like, come on, man, I'll be there, whatever. I'm like, all right. So me and my girlfriend at the time, we go there, and I'm like, the whole time, I'm like, this fucking cocksucker just shook it all up. I don't like it, right? They get killed, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
well, they lost by 2.
no, not that one. That's the one that they lost by like 15. Remember, they lost like 38-13 or 28-13 or something like that. The real dead one. They lost by 2 in between the one that Broncos won the Super Bowl.
That was when Denver had the best offense.
Yeah. They lost like 28-13 or something like that. So I'm like, and the whole game was just ugly. Like, it was like, Pats came back a little bit or whatever, but it was like, they were getting fucking stomped. And I'm just looking at him like, it's your fucking fault, man. Like, this is unbelievable. The one time you watch a game, not at your house, they get fucking rolled over. So he's like, you're right. I'm really sorry. So the whole next year, we watch Seahawks championship.
Yeah.
Right. We win there. All right, great. I move away, watch the next Super Bowl, Slime Tavern, no problem. Now, I text him before the game. What are you doing? He says, I'm going to my dad's for the game. I'm like, why? It's the Super Bowl. Like, well, stay home. What are you doing? He was like, Dave, it's the Super Bowl. I'm going to go watch with my dad. I'm like, I get it. Like, that's really cute, but, like, don't do that. Just stay home. So he goes to his dad's, and we talked at halftime. He says, I'm on my way home. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, this is bullshit. Whatever. And he's like, I'm going home. Pats come back, but 25-point deficit, win the game. He's starting to go crazy. Like, it's the house. Like, it's really the house. So this past week, I call him before the game, like normal routine. Hey, man, what's going on? Not much. Just heading to my dad's. What are you doing? Why? And he's like, Dave, I told you last week I was going to watch the AFC Championship. I was like, yeah, I kind of like let that go, thinking that you'd stumble upon it. Like, oh no, I can't do that. Like, I gotta watch it at my house. He's like, Dave, I'm telling you, man. Like, I gotta break this.
Why doesn't his dad come to his house?
That's kind of Like, I'm like, fucking figure that out, right? Yeah. So that's a good point. So, like, and
Did he go home at halftime again?
I text him in the third quarter. I said, go home. And he's like, no, I'm 45 minutes away. I'm like, Kevin, fucking go home or whatever. So then he calls me after the game. He's like, dude. I'm like, what? He's like, crazy. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, did you go home? And he says, no. I stayed. And I'm really glad that I did, because if I left and I went home and they did it again, I would be like, I'm never leaving. I ain't fucking leaving.
So
just Wolf of Wall Street.
How about
so
this?
They broke the curse a little bit, which is nice. But.
I bought last year before the Falcons Super Bowl, like literally probably a week before or whatever.
Yeah.
I bought a really nice all red, like the red one, Julian Edelman jersey.
Yep.
The red alternate or whatever.
Yep.
Go to my parents' house for the Super Bowl like we always do. I have my red Julian Edelman jersey on. I have my Patriots hat.
Yeah.
Let's watch the game. They go down big, right? Halftime, I'm like dejected. I'm like, fuck, take my Julian Edelman jersey off.
Right.
They come back and win. I can never wear the Julian Edelman jersey again.
Never do it again.
I can wear it out
right.
to functions and stuff.
Yep.
I can never watch a game.
Not while they're playing.
No.
Never again.
No.
And I never will. I never will wear a Julian Edelman jersey.
I change my shit up all the time.
I bought the Patriot shoes. Right?
Yeah.
I got the Patriot Nikes.
Oh, you lucky fuck.
I wore them 3 times this year. They lost all 3 games.
Really?
To the Lime Tavern. I was like, I'm never wearing those fucking shoes to a
you
game
can't- you
again.
can't.
Like, I like wearing them. They're nice.
You
but
can wear them out. You
Right.
can wear them to functions. You cannot wear them for a Patriots game.
No, not going to wear them to the Super Bowl. Like, hey, guys, look, Patriots.
Nope.
I'm just like,
What size do they all wear them?
I think 13. No, you're not. No one's touching them.
I
Like, no one's touching them.
I have a really nice Julian Edelman jersey. I wear it out. I don't wear it for games.
Right. Don't blame me at all.
I'll wear them both during the game.
So we do have, I forgot, it's tradition here, because it's only the second time I've ever done it. We have...
All you got to do is make a decision. That's it.
Take a look inside my crystal ball.
It's bold prediction week.
Oh.
Right? Because last time we did the bold predictions in week 1. Whew. I don't even have one prepped.
My bold prediction is not that they score in the first quarter. I don't feel like that's bold enough.
Well, history would be on your side in a bold way, but...
I feel like they should always score in the first quarter.
Shit, they really should. Yeah. I don't even have a bold one ready. This is tough. Aaron, okay.
I got one.
All right, Aaron.
It just came to me.
Here we go. I like it.
Deion Lewis breaks James White's record.
Most points scored?
Well, just most catches in a Super Bowl.
Oh, most catches. Okay, yep. All right. I like it. Because White broke the record for the most points scored in the Super Bowl.
Did he?
Last year.
I wasn't going to go there. I would say that would be Gronk.
That would be, yeah. What do we got? It's tough.
Danny Amendola.
Oh, you just fucking...
Danny Amendola.
You let him go
I might
first.
not. Yeah, I might not take it. Danny Amendola catches a touchdown and punt return for a touchdown.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
He's one of those guys
I almost
that
said and rushes for a touchdown too, but he doesn't do the end
Doesn't do a
around.
lot of that.
No.
Right.
But yeah, he'll catch a touchdown and punt return for a touchdown. 3 actually, I think he'll have 3 total touchdowns. 2 receiving touchdowns and a punt return touchdown. If he punt return touchdowns during this game, I will literally cream my pants. It'll happen.
Brandon Cooks,
Uh-oh.
Stephon Gilmore, and Rex Burkhead will all have a touchdown this game.
Oh, Stephon Gilmore in there.
Pick 6 or fumble recovery.
When you said Brandon Cooks, Stephon Gilmore, I was like, where the fuck is he going with this?
and then fist fight. Just looking at a fist fight.
And then Rex Burkhead.
I thought you were going to say, like, don't play. I was like, I would hate you.
All 3 major name acquisitions from this year
Have a touchdown?
have a touchdown.
I totally could buy Brandon Cooks and Rex Burkhead having a touchdown.
Yeah.
Because that happens all the time.
Right.
Stephon Gilmore. That's what makes it bold.
Yep. So that's that. The Patriots, I think I told you this outside, the Patriots are on some wild streak. Forget what it is. I think it's the longest winning streak in NFL history without getting a takeaway. It's like 5 straight games now.
Really?
It's crazy.
What? Think about this. What the fuck do you do with Danny Amendola? You can't let him go.
No, you pay him like you just supersize his McDonald's fries.
How many wide receivers are you going to keep, though? You have so many on the roster right now.
Yeah.
So you just get rid of...
Well, Dorsett's gone.
Yeah, Dorsett's
Britt's
gone.
probably
Britt's
gone.
Danny Amendola's 32.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
He's getting long in the tooth. I'm not
I
saying
almost
that.
don't care if I almost don't.
I like that
I almost
saying.
don't care if they sign
that
him
long
and they
time.
just literally say you're not playing till January.
Right.
If they're just like, stay in shape.
Right.
Maybe we'll put you in every once in a while when Edelman needs a rest. Other than that, you're literally not going to see the field until January.
He's your fourth or fifth receiver.
He turns into like this super monster.
Right.
When January hits. It's insane. And he never, like, Skip Bayless went on this huge thing, like, Tom Brady did it with only Danny Amendola, little five. I was like, you don't understand what Danny Amendola you're dealing with.
Right, yeah, it's a
he is
animal.
Prime time, like, game-winning Danny.
Right.
In the playoffs.
I was going to say that he was going to break the catches in the Super Bowl record.
Yeah.
But I think Gronk will play. And I think that's going to be a lot of running backs and stuff. So
that's why I was going to say Deion Lewis. Like, it would not surprise me. Also, if he has like one catch.
Yeah.
Max Kellerman is still holding on to the cliff thing.
You saw that? And Stephen A. Smith's like, how? Your math doesn't make sense.
He was like,
We're here.
It's been 18 months or whatever.
Right.
He's like, I said it would take 18 months. He's like, they're in the Super Bowl.
Right.
So are you saying he's just going to start on the cliff next year?
He's starting falling.
Next year, he's supposed to be. So if he comes out and has a good game, his first game, cliff's done.
Cliff's over. Yep. That's unbelievable.
Hey,
I hope he doesn't retire, man. That made me feel really uncomfortable.
How can you hold on to that take this long? Just say you were wrong.
You can't. And hey, by the way, Max Kellerman, you put a 1.5 year long window on a guy that was 39 years old that he might get bad in a 1.5 years. Yeah, no shit. Like, that's how aging works, and that's how. And then Father Time.
Did you see the other thing? He tried to like move what the cliff was. He was like, "Well, falling off a cliff doesn't mean he's just going to be awful." I was like, "No, that's exactly what it means."
Yeah, he's going to be a bum in short order.
He's like, it just means he's not going to be what he was before.
Right. Yeah, you can't do that.
It's like, no, falling off a cliff means he's going to fall off a cliff. Right. He's going to be awful. You didn't say roll down a hill. You said fall off a cliff.
Right, yeah.
That means this.
He's completely dropping.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I'll give Stephen A. Smith some credit. He at least gives Brady props when Brady's... He'll say, he's like... He's great.
Kellerman's whole thing, that first thing was like, did the Jags get robbed, which is a wild thing.
Yeah.
And then his second thing was like, the only reason Tom Brady could come back was because the defense did their job. I was like, well, you're right, but the only reason they won the game was because Tom Brady also did his job.
Right, yeah.
Like, obviously, you need both.
People say the Falcons lost that Super Bowl, the Patriots did win. I'm like, well, you still had to score the points.
Yeah, you need both of them.
You need both, right. And don't get me wrong, the Falcons did trip and puke all over themselves for sure. And I'm not going to say that. You needed them to participate in that. You know
people do. They pick and choose things.
Right.
It's like, if the Seahawks run.
Right.
The Seahawks had one of the luckiest receptions of all time to even get within range of. They literally had a ball fall onto a guy.
That
was tipped away.
Right.
And no one even brings it up. Right. They're just like, they could have. Also, they could have run, and it could have got stuffed.
Right. And then they would have had to pass.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. A lot of people don't think about that.
You're just assuming that Marshawn Lynch gets the touchdown, which, I mean, it probably is a safe assumption.
Right.
But he might not. He got stuffed the play before.
Right. Yeah, Hightower stopped him on a 2-yard gain or whatever. Right.
But that's the thing is, all they needed was what?
They needed 2 yards. I think they're at the 2. Yeah, right.
That's the whole point about it. It's the same thing with Blunt. They always talk about how big he is. Same thing with Lynch. It's like he's so tall and big. All he has to do is get a little momentum and fall forward.
But we've seen running backs get stuffed. It's not impossible.
No, it's not. Right. The Patriots, one of the first Super Bowls, when they stopped Indianapolis on the one.
Willie McGinnis. His injury. Yeah.
Faked his injury.
He did. Yeah.
I know.
I love that. Faked the knee injury. Had to come off the field for third down. And they go for it on 4th and 1 to win the game. He makes the stop and then just sprints down the field. Yeah.
Why do you fake the injury?
To stop the clock.
Oh.
Because the Colts were driving. And him and Law both fell down and faked the injury. You know what I mean? And then Law got back up, and they both had to come off. And then third down, they're playing without Law and Willie or whatever on the field. So then they get a stop. Now it's 4th and 1. They come back in. Willie McGinnis comes out because he made it look like he got shot. He's like, oh man, my knee.
He pulled a Paul Pierce.
Yeah, he did the Paul Pierce thing, and then
got wheeled off the court.
Fucking makes the stop. He stops Edward James around the edge, right? Cuts him off, and then he just gets up, one finger in the air, and sprints the whole field. Everyone's like, what about the knee, though? Like, what happened? Like, I thought you hurt your knee, though. They asked Lawyer Malloy. It's on the America's Greatest Games DVDs or whatever. And they asked Lawyer about it. He goes, man, I don't know what you're talking about. Willie got a little banged up on that play. It is I don't know. He probably just felt really good after making a play, but I don't know.
Does he have like a smirk on his face?
Yeah, he's kind of like, I don't know what you guys were asking, man. I don't know. Whatever. It was like,
I would have been like, Willie put some dirt on it.
Yeah,
and got back out there.
Yeah, people eventually find that and be like, see, no good cheating pictures. Like you realize, like
everybody does
every
that
team has done that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
In the it was not the Jags. Yeah, Jags game. Mm-hmm. How many guys did they go down in that game?
The very end.
My God, like it just felt like flies. Yeah, it was nuts.
And then nobody used a timeout.
Right.
And they never took a timeout away. I don't know what when's the
after 2 minutes. Yeah, I think it's after 2 minutes. If you're below the 2 minute warning, then you have to use them. Well, yeah. Well, that's our bold prediction thing. I really don't have much else. I mean, the Celtics have been kind of
they're on a 4-game skid.
No, overtime this time, Dave. I mean, they already did it, so
no overtime this time. No,
I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about this game.
It's a weird one.
It's a weird one
because there's no and I'm not even saying to be stupid. There's no fuel.
Right.
I'm like confident about it.
Yeah, but it's like uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't sound confident.
I feel like I am, but I also feel I can feel myself overlooking the Eagles.
Yeah,
they're gonna be tougher than what I'm imagining.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They have Alshon Jeffries? He's good.
Right. Now is he hurt?
He's probably banged up.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna play. He played versus Minnesota.
Yeah, I thought.
Did he get hurt in that game?
I read an article where they said there's something like there's no David Tyree this year. There's no Mario Manningham this year. There's not even an Alshon Jeffrey. And the way it was worded made it sound like he wasn't going to play in the game for some reason. But I don't know. They may have just meant he's not the reason. He's not going to be the guy.
We'll
you know
see
what I mean?
So report.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll probably have Gilmore on him because Alshon Jeffrey's big.
Big, yeah. That would be Gilmore's guy, and Aguilar will be Butler's guy. And
so you probably won't see a lot of receptions out of Alshon Jeffrey.
It's true.
Gilmore's been
lights out,
shutting people down,
real good.
I do worry about Malcolm Butler on Nelson Aguilar, though.
That's a tough one. That's a tough matchup. I get a little bit of row help there.
Row your boat.
Maybe.
The boat versus the goat. Have you seen those shirts?
Yeah. Have a really cool shirt idea coming up, like the evolution chain. You know what I mean? Like the monkey to man thing. A baby goat to Tom Brady.
So Tom Brady the human?
Yeah, Tom Brady the human. Yeah, pretty cool idea.
What if you just did him devolving into a goat? It starts as Tom Brady and it just ends up as a goat.
You could do that. Yeah, that works out.
What if you did?
could work.
What if you did a bunch of pictures of Tom Brady, but in the middle was just a goat head?
Yeah.
Here's him at Michigan. Here's him.
Right. Yeah.
All these pictures, and then just in the middle is a goat.
Right. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So,
we don't have the rights for Tom Brady's image.
No, we don't. But
I also don't care.
There's a lot of workarounds there. I'm looking into the legalities of those things, but
yeah.
Celtics. We say it's bomb trading.
Celtics, yeah. Celtics don't look great. There's really not much to talk about.
They're 34-14.
Yeah.
They're still number one in the East.
They're number one in the East, but Toronto is 1.5 back in the division or conference, whatever you want to call it.
The Cavs are imploding
real bad. Isaiah Thomas, whoa, led a revolt against Kevin Love.
If you're Kevin Love,
right,
why don't you just
fuck off?
Are you really going to get on me for missing?
Right.
You missed fucking 2 months.
Right.
You didn't play.
Right. What do you think of the Clippers Chris Paul situation, though?
It's tunneling into the team's locker room.
Jesus Christ.
Pulled a Shawshank and got into the other team's locker room.
I don't love that. Yeah, I like Josh Dow was talking about that on the sports
The NBA has some crazy fucking storylines.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts right now. The Celtics don't look great.
Kawhi Leonard
wants out of San Antonio.
And is out of San Antonio.
What's happening there? Did you hear Colin Cowherd's thing about Brad Stevens is the reason why Jason Kidd got fired?
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Rob Gronkowski has been upgraded with a he did get a concussion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's on the actual report.
Yeah.
In the
so did Dietrich Weiss.
I heard
his concussion too.
I heard.
Was he the one that was like laid out?
Mm-hmm. I think they did that. I think someone from the league probably was like, you have to put that he has a concussion.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because originally it just said head injury.
Oh yeah.
I think they were like,
you have to state
it's a concussion.
Right.
Also, fucking Shannon Sharp, I can't stand him. Mm-hmm. Was like, Tom Brady made this a bigger with his hand.
Oh
like,
God!
He made it a bigger deal than it had to be.
Right.
Like it didn't have to be on the injury report. You don't have to list what hand it is. That's not true. A quarterback and a kicker.
Yeah.
You have to. If the injury is to your throwing hand, you have to list it.
Yeah.
As a throwing hand injury.
Yeah.
And a kicker has to list it as a kicking leg injury.
Right. And is that the thing now? The Patriots gave too much information?
He's like,
he was like, it's only the Pats are
he was like,
so shady.
Serena Williams won the thing when she was pregnant and didn't tell anyone.
Right.
I was like, you have to tell them when it's a throwing hand injury.
Right.
You can't just say hand.
Right.
You have to say throwing hand.
Right. The Pats are always accused of tinkering with the injury report, and Brady's listed as questionable with a sore shoulder or a sore throwing shoulder, whatever. So now they say what's actually wrong with them.
Yeah.
And they're just making it bigger than it really is. What do you want? What do you want? Like, you want them to not tell you the truth, or do you want the truth and then be mad that they're telling you too much truth?
Also, Belichick handles the injury report, and by the end of it, he seemed annoyed with how much. Yeah. How much? So you think he would do that on purpose? Just like put out that it's a hand injury when he doesn't have to, and then get annoyed about it?
Right. Absolutely. And that's what Tom. He was like, oh no, I mean, it's Friday. Did you hear that answer?
Yeah. Did you hear the one about Gronk?
Yeah.
From today?
Yeah.
And they're like, so Gronk, is he going to play? He's like, well, put it on the injury report.
Right. Yeah.
And the guy's just like, so what's the time limit for that or whatever? He's like, the NFL has guidelines for the injury report, and we'll put it out on that, and I'll make sure you're the first one to get it. And then the guy's like, okay, I'm sure you will. And then he like turns to Stacy, who handles their thing. He's like, make sure that's the first guy who gets it. He was in like prime Belichick in this last the last press conference.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, Celtics struggling. Al Horford made the All-Star game. All-Star team, which is good. Irving, Horford, average Al. All-Star Al. Al-Star?
Do you think he should have made it?
Absolutely.
Tatum's playing in the Rising Star.
Yeah. So is Brown.
Yeah.
So Brown did it too. Over Drummond.
Drummond's averaging 15 of 15.
Yeah, that's really good. That is really good. I think Al Horford is such a big piece. Like, his usage is real high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know what his stats off the top of my head.
I don't either. I think he's probably like a 14 and 9-ish. Yeah. I'm guessing he's kind of almost a double-double guy. Drummond is having a really good year.
It's also voted on by fans, and Boston just has a better fan base than Detroit does.
Yeah, absolutely true.
Bruins.
Still hot. Scorching.
They're second in the Atlantic, second best record in the East, and they're also fourth best record in the NHL.
Dude, what the fuck?
And Brad Marchand has been going off.
Oh, yeah.
And he got suspended for 5 games.
What? That's what the suspension is?
5 games, and he's going to be eligible to play. He'll still be eligible to play in the All-Star game, though.
Wait.
What did he do?
Is that long for hockey?
It seems long. It seems long to me.
It seems long to me, too, but I just don't know.
They have a long season. It's like
hockey suspensions,
The length of their season is, I want to say they play as many games as like... I think they play like 84 games.
82. They have the same
82
as the NBA.
games.
Yeah, they're both 82. Yeah.
What's up with the fucking Las Vegas team? They're like the best team in hockey.
They're not, but they're playing well.
It's insane.
They've had a good year.
They're an expansion team.
Right. No, they've had a really monster year.
One of the guys at work was like, what would you do if they brought back the Whalers? I was like, they're expansion team. They'd probably suck. He's like, like the Golden Knights are like the best team in hockey. I was like,
right.
All right, you got me, but that's probably an anomaly.
Yeah,
normally, the expansion team sucks.
I also think it's the what if you had a team up here, the weather, people don't want to.
They call it the Vegas flu. You heard about that?
No.
That like the home field advantage for the Vegas team is they call it the Vegas flu because all the the team that comes into Vegas, they go out the night before, and then they're not ready for the game.
Right, yeah.
And their record at home is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're kicking the shit out of teams the next day.
That's pretty cool. That's cool.
Yeah, fucking prostitution's legal. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you're in Vegas. It's like the center of debauchery.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
exactly. Yeah,
it's legal there. Like, it's just there's a lot going on.
You
there.
know, if the Raiders are in Vegas, you know Belichick's like, you guys aren't leaving your fucking hotel room.
Right.
He's not going to stay in Vegas.
Yeah, he's going to stay outside of Vegas.
Right. They're going to stay in.
Travel in.
They're going to stay in Los Angeles and bus in 6 hours to get there.
Yeah,
like Vegas, baby. Vegas, straight out of Swingers. All right, so you guys ready for the state of the network?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Would everybody please stand for the B.S.N. Network's weekly State of the Network?
Show some respect. I like how Joe stood, put his hand over his heart. Aaron put his hand over his heart and sat, and then Joe came back and said no. He was the only one that stood for the situation, and then came back and was like defiantly no.
I did it. I did it on my own time. Right. That's what it is.
Okay,
I didn't want to be told what to do.
I respect that.
Yeah.
So we're about a week away or so, right?
Yep. From the launch of Set the Record Straight with Jaguar Joe. You forgot about that.
You're very, very good at remembering those things. That's really good. That's awesome.
It's got that 70s vibe.
Yeah.
Also,
your DJ Jaguar Joe.
Jaguar Joe will never make an appearance on that. He'll, just like Ben Field Goal was never mentioned on actual fucking Joe's Fantasy Field Goal.
Yeah. Yep.
Featuring Ben Field Goal.
Featuring Ben Field Goal. Absolutely. What about you? You got WCP this week? Royal Rumble coming up?
Royal Rumble is coming up fast.
Big week.
Also, a little recap of Raw this
25.
week. Raw 25. Did you hear how much it cost per ticket to go there? Bear in mind, you get the commemorative chair that has like all the faces on it. It says Raw 25 on it.
You get a chair?
Yeah, you get an actual folding chair with it's got the cushion on it.
People collect those.
Yeah. But you get one if you bought a ticket to that show.
Yeah.
So you're just telling me there's going to be a bunch of drunk people in the crowd with chairs? Folding chairs.
Just steel chairs.
I think how much money they're spending on it, I don't think they'll want to get arrested.
Yeah.
And you're putting way too much faith in people.
Yeah, I know, but
wrestling fan base.
But most of the wrestling fan base smells. They're unathletic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the odds of them actually starting a brawl.
Aaron's cutting a promo right now.
I just want to remind you.
I'm a wrestling fan. I get it.
No,
I don't smell, though.
These are the people that listen to your podcast.
I get it.
You guys stink? Okay.
No, I just said I'm a wrestling fan and I don't smell.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, when you think of
90% of my fans smell.
When we went to that gym,
gym. Yeah. Oh, the XWA show that I went to with Kevin, and you'll never go to another indie show again, purely based on the odor of the woman next to me.
Yeah.
Like, it was just...
And it was a woman. It wasn't even a man.
Yeah, it was just...
So, they did the Raw 25.
Yep.
And $500 is like the minimum payment for a ticket. There were points in the show because they were at two different venues.
Right.
They literally were gaps of 40 minutes where there was nothing going on in the stadium. So you're literally sitting there just watching an empty ring for 40 minutes. Paid $500.
They didn't even put it on like the Jumbotron or anything?
They did, but
they did, right.
But here's the thing. The venues that they were at, they had one at the Barclays Center, which is huge. Okay, yeah, they have a big screen. They did the other one at like the Manhattan Center.
Yeah, it's like it's like a theater.
It's where they originally filmed it.
Right.
The original Raw 25 years ago. Mm-hmm. It's fucking tiny in comparison. Mm-hmm. They don't have a big screen that's like in the middle of the room. Right. It's like on the back wall, and then the people that are in the back have to turn around and like stare at it.
They should have just...
How much money you're paying, that's ridiculous.
For the Barclays Center, they should have just like put what's happening at the Manhattan Center on the big screen for those times.
Yeah.
But for the Manhattan Center, they should have had people wrestle. They should have had just like matches they weren't going to show.
Well, the point is you're also paying because you want to see what's going to happen next, like the crazy old timer coming back or whatever. Right. So you would miss that if you're not watching the Jumbotron,
right?
Or the big screen on the back wall.
Unless you just had all of those kind of things happen at the Manhattan Center, which would be viewed at,
which would have been the right
Barclays.
idea for me, right?
Should have done it separately. or just done one show at the Manhattan Center.
Yeah.
Upcharging the tickets you already upcharged on.
Right.
And been fine.
Right. That's what I think. I think it should have been a taste.
Just been like a super small niche show.
Yeah.
But like super awesome.
Yep. Yep.
So then just charge the fuck out of fucking tickets.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's his name?
That would have been cool.
Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah.
Brother Love. He got the highest amount of votes to come back and be on the 25th anniversary. Higher than Stone Cold.
Yeah.
That's probably because of his podcast.
Right.
Oh,
But
Cold ET.
and he what was it? Bruce Pritchard did the night before. You could buy a ticket to his show, and it came. So it was essentially $35 for his show, and you get a ticket into the Nets game that same night.
Oh wow!
So you get the Nets game, and then it's like the Nets versus the Miami Heat,
right?
And then you got to go.
Wow, coach of the year.
Well, no, but what's laughable about it is like they're trying to do that to like bolster their numbers for ticket sales.
Right.
Like, hey, let's attach all these shows that we can to it.
Right.
Like, so what did they get $5 out of that deal? Because I guarantee you, he got 30 out of that.
Right.
Doesn't he have a podcast too, Bruce Pritchard?
Yeah, it's wrestling with something to wrestle with.
Uh-oh.
Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah.
And Conrad Thompson.
Stone Cold ET.
Yeah. I like a couple cheeseburgers. It's just so fucking funny.
I miss Stone Cold Steve Austin.
My news for the week is we did the Chicago Sam's 4-star sports bar review. New
glowing review.
reigning defending champion. Lionheart has been bumped.
You're welcome.
As the
You're
leader.
welcome for that.
One of
by the
these-
way.
I know that.
You're
bar.
welcome.
You act like you
You're
taught me
welcome.
something. No,
You're welcome.
I'm not saying thank
One
you.
of these-
I reminded you of it.
You did.
One of these days, I'm gonna look up like best sports bar in the country,
Yeah.
and then just like GoFundMe
Yeah. Well, yeah.
a
Right.
trip,
You'll fund me a trip to go to
so
it.
that you guys can do fucking
Right.
the best one.
The best sports bar.
The best
Also,
country. It's
in
incredible.
that review,
Yeah.
little teaser if you haven't listened to it yet. One of you brings up a TV on the floor.
Yep.
What a wild, awesome idea that
Yeah.
would be.
Right. Yeah.
Just pick one game,
Right.
most important game, television as the floor.
On the floor.
I mean, have you ever? I mean, nowadays when you go to most places, when you see somebody sitting at a table, what are they doing? They're on their phone.
On their phone.
So if you set it up where you're just sitting there, you're on your phone, you got the TV on the ground, you
Right.
can eat.
Exactly.
You never have to look up.
Right.
Exactly. I don't want to look up.
You just end up with some neck problems afterwards.
Yeah.
But
it's
that's
not
okay.
much worse than when you have to.
Yeah.
Sit too close. It's
Yeah,
just the
well, that's
opposite
why.
way. Yeah.
You know,
TV
you don't
on
sit
the floor.
close.
How crazy would that be?
Yeah.
You walk in, you're just like, whoa,
Whoa. Imagine if the whole floor was a TV.
That's what I'm saying.
Like just a giant.
Yeah,
One
that's
giant.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
One gigantic television.
Right.
So you would
With
see
steps on it. Like, how's that happen?
no. So then you would just see like, hey, there's Tom Brady's eyeball.
Yeah, right,
Like that's
right.
it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to see at my table. I'm going
Right.
to have to go stand at the other side of the bar to watch it.
Well-
I would go find the scoreboard part. Just be like, Pats are up 24.
No, what they would probably
That's
do
a table
is
I
make
want.
it so that you could like section it.
Yeah.
So it'd just be like a row.
I
rows of the
also,
same.
this is a lot of energy into a thing that isn't a real thing.
What do you mean?
Well,
Have
in
you
my
seen what they're
mind-
trying to make the TV that's like paper thin? Like
Yeah,
you,
no, I know.
Like,
No,
you
but
can
I'm
make
saying-
the floor out
I'm
of
saying
it.
that who is doing this, right? You say like what
Joe-
they're trying to
Jaguar
do.
Joe's
yeah, Jaguar
Sports
Joe's
Bar
Sports Bar and Grill
for Jaguars.
That sounds like a strip club.
It
all right?
does, yeah.
Jaguar
yeah.
Joe's.
Jaguar Joe's. It really does.
Sounds
you can
like
do
a
lot
hillbilly
of
strip club. I'm telling you.
Every time the door opens, that's like the little noise,
like you have a visitor
yeah,
thing.
exactly, yeah, like the doorbell, like
If you're ever at a strip club that needs a bell like that, for
Yeah.
like, oh shit, someone's here, go out there and strip. Then
right.
It's not a good
It's
strip.
not a good situation. Or you got to ring the doorbell first, like
That's like what CVS has to let their late night
Like,
employees
boom,
know
boom.
that people are in the store.
Right.
So if you have a strip club, just like no strippers out there, just like
just,
rawr, it's like, oh, I gotta get on the stage.
all right, guys, hit the floor. Yeah, so we did that. That was really good. The video is really funny. That was a really fun.
I didn't
podcast.
watch the video. I just listened.
You gotta
to
check it out. It's really fucking funny. But there's that.
Wait, hold on. There is a part in the podcast where I listened to it, so I didn't hear it. Where you talk about like physical contact being made,
Exactly. Yeah.
and it happens like
3 times.
3 times.
So we go to a replay,
Oh, all right.
So then it replays
Because I was like, did they literally just do that line for line perfectly
3 times
in a row?
In my head, I thought it was like Dave edited this and he just totally left
Fuck
3
this
of
up.
them in there.
Yeah, no. So what happened was I just took the audio from the video. That's all I do for that one is I just fucking pull the audio and then post it. So it's a way for people to listen, but really it's like it's a video show. You know what I mean?
But it was funny when I was listening to it. I was like, did he just?
Right.
He just did that line for line.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
He's like, and okay. Oh my God, there was physical contact. He's like, I'm sorry.
It was like tonal. I was like tonally. I was like, Jesus, that was perfect.
Well,
how did they do that?
Well, it was like when I tried to listen to it, and it was like that long break with the music.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then you were like, you came back. You're like, yeah, we're just showing you some of the stuff that you can watch.
Right.
So I was like, I don't want to watch this shit. Dave, edit this part out.
Yeah, no. It's like you just get the audio of the video. And that's it. That's all you get.
Oh no, I get it. I don't have to like it.
Wait, so what do you
don't
do?
have to like it. So
You just get what? No, I'm just trying to make a joke. Because you're like, that's it.
That's it. Oh yeah, you
And
just
he
get
said
the audio.
I get it, and I was going to act like I don't get it.
I get it.
There you
Now
go.
I get it.
What happened to who?
Huh? Who's on first? Dave Speaks is going to go on a little hiatus.
All right. This is news to me.
This is news to everybody. I'm gonna take a little break for a little while. I have an idea. It's sort of like what we talked about before, like doing the interview thing.
Yeah.
But I just want to tighten it up, and I want to make sure that what I'm doing is what I want. I don't really want to do it.
Are we going to discuss this idea off air?
We can, yeah.
All right, because I'm curious about this.
Okay. All right,
Is it the 0 to 99 Boston sports people?
No. That would be a separate thing. I do
great
like that.
idea.
I do like that one a lot. 00 to 99.
Double zero. Yeah.
You got to start with 00, and it would be called a game of numbers, or the numbers game.
No, game of numbers.
Game of numbers. Okay, all right, yeah.
This is a great.
This is a really good idea.
Delete all this out.
Yeah.
No one can.
I just think you're going to go play tummy sticks. That's
If
what's
I
really gonna
swear
happen.
to God, if I see Chad Dizzle Davis with a fucking game of numbers podcast,
Yeah.
I'm going to drop kick him.
Right. No,
That might end up being a show on the network.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if it's on the network, I can't be upset.
So yeah, Dave Speaks. I had to take this past week off because I had some internet issues at my house, but I want to fix it. It doesn't feel right now. So I think there's something I can do better. So that's going to be taking a break. And also I want to take 1 second and thank the guys from Pino Comics, the podcast. The B.S. Nerds won their Fan of the Week thing on Instagram, so they shout us out on the radio show.
Oh, we're awesome.
And really cool.
Nice.
So they gave the whole plug for the network. So I want to thank them. They're really, really good. They have a podcast that they do, and then they also have a radio show on WFSU, I believe, or WESU. I'm not sure where the station is here locally, but you can just check it out. It's like wesu.org. And they do a really, really good show. It's 1 hour, mostly interviews type of thing, but they're really funny. A couple comedian guys. So I want to thank them. And I'll probably be here for WCP.
Also, speaking of Chad Dizzle Davis.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Someone played like the NWO takeover music, like the NWO. We are taking over Past the F and Popcorn because if anyone watched the Colonel's podcast, we made a friendly wager with our friend Chad Dizzle Davis. The winner of Pats Jags.
Yep.
Obviously, Boston Sports Nerds, we had the Pats. Dizzle Davis, stupidly, picked the Jaguars.
Yeah.
And
He's a Lions fan, so I guess that's
He-
what it says.
listen,
Sticking in the
says
says
a
a
lot.
you
lot.
know what? For 3/4, it looked like a very smart pick.
Yeah.
Also, I knew we were going to win the whole time.
Never had any doubt.
But because we won, we did a show swap. That was the bet. If we lost, Past F and Popcorn would host a show of the BS Nerds.
Yep.
But we didn't lose because we're Boston sports fans. We don't lose.
Take that for data.
David Fisdale, rest in peace. R.I.P. in peace. We won, so that means we will host
Right.
an episode of Past the F and Popcorn
True story.
sometime
In April?
in the future,
we talked about April?
and probably be the highest rated show of all time.
Yeah.
At least their highest rated show.
Right.
We're going in there and we're just
We have some.
we're smashing numbers.
We have some wonderful ideas.
Yeah, this is going to be really good.
For when we host it.
Yeah.
And
you should be able to watch it on Facebook Live. I believe we're going to
do exactly what they do.
Right.
Well, with a spin on it, probably.
Yeah.
We are going to host it like they host it.
Yeah.
Maybe Jaguar Joe will show up for that. I don't know.
We don't know at this point. It's a real.
That should be real fun. So look forward to that. We'll announce that again closer to when the actual Pats AFC Nerds podcast comes out.
Yeah, that's a good one. I forgot all about that. Yeah, that's a big deal.
That the main point of that whole thing is that we won.
We're gonna get up in them guts.
Oh wow! Okay, this is aggressive. That's aggressive.
It's kind of rapey. You know that'll get you 175 years in prison.
Wait, what?
You saw that?
No.
Oh man, ex-USA Olympian gymnast, doctor Larry Nanser.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh yeah.
40 to 175 years in prison.
Wide
range. He already served 60 years.
That's like the best behavior.
He's already
serving 60.
Oh, I thought you meant he already served 60. I was like, Jesus Christ, how old was he when he went in?
No, 20? He's already in a 60-year sentence, and now is getting finalized.
So yeah, he's never getting out of prison.
Wait, but the thing is, 40 to 175 is 40 like good behavior, because that better be the best behavior.
Yeah, right.
To knock 135 years off your sentence.
I think they just. That's crazy.
It's basically he's gonna die.
I think it's based upon
he's serving 100 years in prison at the minimum.
Right.
So
right.
I think what it is how many counts.
Right.
It just adds up.
Yeah. But that's just a weird thing that would mean like 1 to 9 years range, and then it's like, okay, 40 counts of that. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that's a wide range.
Yeah, it's like you're going to spend either 4 days in jail or 17 years.
Right. You choose. You do the math.
Well, I pick the 4 days.
Right. All right.
If you're going to give me that choice.
Well, that backfired. But yeah. So check that out. I don't know when the date.
Check out the Rape Doctor.
Check out the Rape Doctor. RapeDoctor.com.
That's probably a real website. Don't go there.
Don't do that.
Go to RapeDoctor.party if anything.
Oh, fuck it.
That's the name of the episode.
That's the name.
RapeDoctor.party.
I like that a lot. I like that's funny. All right, let's get the hell out of here, guys.
We gotta end on that note, huh?
Rape Doctor. Don't go to RapeDoctor.com. Go to RapeDoctor.party.